The world utterly loathed my new summon. But the moment he actually appeared, I hugged him totally overjoyed. My classmates started howling with laughter, mockingly crowning me a genius. Even my own head instructor, who had such massive expectations, roared that I betrayed his legacy. I just smirked and stayed silent. Instead, I went and sold everything I ever owned for 50 kilos of monster meat. Anything to unlock his hidden talent. I gently patted the pup's head. A system notification echoed inside me. Loyalty level, absolute 0 betrayal. Establishing lifelink, I click yes. Soul-shredding agony suddenly ripped through me and I collapsed screaming. Everyone, thinking I'd finally snapped, erupted into even more mockery. Then my girlfriend Liu Ruian, the school's top campus queen, gave me a fake, pitiful sorry. The finals are our only ticket to join the elite world, right? Well, that elite spear knight just invited me to team up, so consider our partnership officially over. I stood up and shrugged nonchalantly. Sure, no problem. Seeing me act so indifferent, she was left totally speechless. All her rehearsed excuses died right there in her throat, feeling ignored and totally insulted. She let out a cold huff. She turned and stormed away. Her friend glared at me disgustedly. He's obviously faking that attitude. Ruian, you did nothing wrong. Why even apologize to him? He summoned a tiny useless puppy. He's not even worth your time. But honestly, I didn't even care. I didn't care one bit because our souls finally fused. That tiny black pup, awakened a triple S talent, the gluttonous apostle. He turns food into energy, breaking every physical limit, reaching the ultimate purification stage. My suffering finally paid off. Throughout the whole Shia Empire, triple S rank awakeners are rarer than finding gold. When a new legend appears, the nation treats them specially and grants absolute protection. Simple reason, they're totally broken. I grabbed the little pup, looking him right in the eyes. From now on, you're Hemming. Time to work for me. Hemming licked her hungry chops, looking absolutely thrilled. I tossed her a steak, and she inhaled it instantly. Basic meat consumed. Purification plus 0.5. As the system voice rang, Hemming grew a tiny bit, and her base stats jumped. All that from one steak. If she keeps eating more, how terrifying will she get? Just thinking about it made my heart start racing. But the real surprise was, my own power felt higher. I felt much stronger too. My special ability transfers her energy to me. We're growing together. I spent 6,000 credits for 50 kilos of beef. With a single thought, Hemming saw the red meat. Her hunger was unleashed. A primal ravenous hunger surged from within. He unhinged his jaw instantly and began shredding through the meat. He was frantically converting every bit of mutant meat swallowed. As he gorged without stopping, endless energy flooded Hemming's entire body. His size exploded at terrifying speed, clearly visible to the eye. In that very moment, I felt my own body strengthening. 30 minutes later, Hemming surged past 2 meters tall. Every stat jumped by 10 points. He's exceptional even among elite classes. The way Hemming scales is a total cheat code. I'll finally catch up and leave the others behind. No more hesitation now. I tapped the system evolution option. Upon confirmation, the terrifying talent source inside Hemming starts vibrating. Suddenly, a bizarre and singular black purifying force explodes. Cells divide and genes rewrite. Life ascends to a higher level. Congratulations, your summoned creature. Hemming has learned the skill shred. Congratulations, your summoned Hemming awakened new talent. Gigantism triples his total size. Strength and defense up 300%. Speed reduced by 50%. With this evolution, Hemming's stats all top 50 points, and he's only level 1. Even high level summons can't rival him. Summons are ranked in 4 tiers. Rank D, intermediate, high, superior. Talent is the ultimate metric. SS rank is the absolute peak. As for those with SS talent, not one has ever appeared. Tucked Hemming in for some rest, ready for these top-tier players. Hitting the big exam tomorrow. Next day, the plaza is packed. Lihuan starts dropping the vital info on surviving the upcoming dungeon crawl. Top schools are clashing this year, and the hype is absolutely insane. Liu Liang's cocky smile is gone. He's sweating like a pig now. Chen Lin, you're actually going. Just quit while you're ahead. Save yourself the public humiliation. If you never actually fight, you can keep lying to yourself, pretending that you've never lost. This loudmouth is named Yi Qiao. Plus the elegant Liu Ruian's here, rocking a robe that's definitely pure grace. It's totally obvious. They're on the same squad. Whatever. I'm ignoring those clowns. Then the bell tolls loudly. 4 massive bronze gates swing open. A chilling aura blasts out instantly. Students scramble to check the data, scanning the dungeon's stats quickly. It's game over already. Help School 2 pulled the Bone Forest. The dungeon with the highest fail rate. Relax, every dungeon is a nightmare. No need to be a drama queen. School 3 got an easy one. No wonder you're not complaining. Lei Huan gives his team a warning. The bone forest terrain is lethal. The brush here is insanely thick. Don't get caught by surprise attacks from hidden monsters. Keep your guard up constantly. Seriously, watch out for ambushes. Monsters are lurking everywhere. Stay sharp. Eyes peeled, guys. Watch every single move. Right in your sector. Owen pulls out this sleek, watch-looking gadget. It's a custom recorder from a master mechanic. It beams your dungeon high scores in real time. Suddenly, another bell tolls across the plaza. The signal the Gaokao grind officially begins. A girl with flowing azure blue hair, rocking some high-spec white plate armor, with a face that's pure visual perfection, steps into the dungeon abyss first. That's Solinshu. Number 3, Hai's top-tier senior. She's tackling this nightmare solo style. Teammates just mean splitting the precious loot. Points get spread way too thin. The real monsters. They fly solo, obviously. Lone wolfing is the meta. Tons of rookies waiting in the square are buzzing with pure hype and nerves. One thought, and I'm dungeon bound. Boom, white light swallows me whole too. I'm going solo time to get this bread, with every challenger inside the portal. A level 20 veteran raises a hand, summons a massive liquid viewing screen, projecting the carnage from deep inside. Suddenly, a bright flash of failure sparks. Some high school 2 kid just rage quit. Their teachers just trade awkward, embarrassed looks, then hang their heads in total shame, feeling the massive yikes vibes from everyone. The headmaster's face turns totally grim. He glares at the water screen speechless, while the camera feed starts to shift. Wait, look, a lone boy finally appears, stranded in the thick, spooky woods. He's scoping out the entire perimeter. The headmaster's jaw drops in pure shock. Did a monster like him really attend yesterday's awakening ceremony at our school? Owen is just standing there totally stumped. He knows I'm just a lowly summoner, right? But back inside the dungeon depths, after a quick dizzy trip, I wake up and scan the area. Suddenly, I hear something drop nearby. Zero time to waste. In my left hand, a 4-foot staff appears from nowhere. A massive green worm, thick as a bucket, lunges down with jaws wide open, flashing rows of nightmare teeth. I grip the staff. Blinding light shoots from the tip, instantly skewering the monster's guts. Sliced clean in half, it drops like a broken puppet. It slams into the dirt. Toxic tooth worm defeated. 5 experience points gained. My wrist device pings a notification. Score plus 15. Outside, everyone is losing their minds. Wait, isn't he just a squishy summoner? But those reflexes and that speed. That's some high-tier agility stats. Honestly, I'm kinda surprised too. During my combat classes, I was pretty good. But not this OP. Worm dealt with. I head deeper into the woods. Then an eerie scream echoes. Small ugly freaks with oily green skin appear. Goblins. I'd know those faces anywhere. Ed Burns says they're totally savage. They multiply like absolute crazy. If the snacks run low, they'll even eat each other. I count 50, maybe 60. If they swarm me together, I'm basically dead meat. I call Emming through our link. A white light flashes, followed by a powerful roar. A watery roar thunders through the forest. Hemming's gaze turns ice cold. He locks onto the charging goblin horde, fangs bared ready to rip. He lunges like a lethal projectile. First, goblin skull absolutely obliterated. The corpse flies back with insane force. Other goblins shriek in pure terror. They swing weapons with desperate strength. A jagged bone slams into Hemming. It snaps with a sickening crunch. Hemming's paw crushes a goblin head. Another green head goes pop. Defense Hemming doesn't need it. It's a total bloody frenzy, owning the field like a god. Even these brainless little monsters feel bone-chilling primal dread. Attack over. They're booking it, panic fleeing in every single direction. Oh, you're here now. You think you can escape. Hemming sick 'em. That way, I'll handle this ugly one myself. Talk about a total bloodbath. The audience is losing their minds. Since when are seniors this cracked? His summon is insane, but how is he this buff too? This guy's definitely using cheats. Back at high school too. Just 10 short minutes ago, underclassmen were hyped for drama. They saw me face those goblins. Everyone bet I'd get wrecked. But check me out now. Wiped out every last green skin. Seeing this, the observer's face turned dark. How's he this fast? He must have a hidden talent. An S-rank evolutionary type, maybe. His potential's nearly matching a high-tier summon. In high school, too, is a legend rising. A genius who can actually bring us some glory. He whipped around to grill the assistant behind him. Quick, what's Chen Lin's current score? According to the tracker's data, she's sitting at 560 points. Top of our school, no contest. But that monster from high school 3, terrifying. With 830 points already, she's basically playing in another league. The teachers nearly choked on their coffee. They haven't even been inside 20 minutes. With numbers that insane, she's gunning for the whole province's crown. Back in the dungeon, glowing orbs burst from those goblin corpses and merged straight into my body. Boom, level 2 baby. My spirit stat crept up by 5. The classic struggle of an ordinary class. No matter how much I level, the gap just keeps getting wider. turning into a straight-up abyss. Good thing I've got my secret weapon. Emming's gluttony will close that gap. I've already cleared the passing score. Academy admission, basically in the bag. But I'm aiming for the stars. Emming was busy vacuuming up goblins with some satisfying crunching noises. Move it, Emming. The hunt's just starting. Goblins are total pack animals. If there's a squad here, a nest has to be nearby. 10 minutes of wandering later and not a single monster in sight, which totally confirms my theory. They call this place a dungeon, but it's a whole living world. No magical respawns in this joint. It's strictly survival of the fittest. Suddenly, bone spears rained down. Screaming through the air, goblins swarmed out from everywhere, howling battle cries and charging in weapons raised high for blood. Fear never even heard of her. My staff pulled a transformation into a blade. One frame later, a goblin was headless. I was basically in full Musu mode. My brain was overclocked and hyper-focused on deleting these fragile mobs from existence. With every smooth-as-butter dodge, my blade reaped souls with surgical precision. I was clinical. Right then, I was fluttering like a butterfly catching the breeze with pure style, except my wings were literal death scythes. This fight was aesthetic enough for a museum, leaving the audience absolutely jaw-dropped. Back at high school number 2, the staff and students lost their minds. Everyone was trapped between shock and hype. Talk about elite combat mechanics, this kid definitely didn't just touch grass. His swordplay is honestly just a flex now. He's slicing throats with pixel-perfect accuracy. A millimeter off and they'd live. He never misses. Suddenly, everyone else became a background character. Every eye was glued to my performance, not daring to blink for a second. Lahuan's face did a weird twitchy scowl. In 3 years, he'd never seen me even poke a sword during training sessions. This kid was gatekeeping his own talent. Oh boy, level 6. Berserkers entered the chat, and there's a lucky 13 of them. Chen Yi might actually be cooked here. But wait, there's a plot twist. Fire and ice variants are joining too. Soloing a goblin nest was a bold move, but maybe a bit too risky. The teachers were officially starting to sweat. It's like they finally found a leader. The goblins stopped mindless spamming and used tactics. Cloaked in flames, they launched a spicy charge. Fist-sized fireballs started spawning everywhere, and they were all targeted at my face. I was dodging like a Matrix Pro using the quickest, coolest little movements. But then, the others. Those goblins thought they had the upper hand. I tilted my head, dodging a spear like a pro. Then my hand shot out like a viper. Snatching a goblin right by its scrawny neck, I launched the little pest into the sky. Those fireballs flying toward me. They exploded against my projectile in a flash. One toasted goblin served extra crispy. I decided to keep the goblin bowling going. I threw them one after another, like green cannonballs aimed at the mages. Wait, is this guy actually fighting like that? Outside, the students were watching with jaws dropped. Even their teacher, Professor Lohuan, was stunned. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. I don't recall ever teaching him the launch your enemy combat style. Meanwhile, the fire goblins were totally panicked. My bombardment had them completely rattled. Fire a spell, they hit their own kin. Don't fire a spell, I'd kill them. Hemming joined the fray. She sliced a path through the chaos, reaching the back line to finish them off. From 100-strong horde, only a pathetic handful remained standing. All they could do was turn and run, but I wasn't finished with them yet. I followed them like a silent shadow, ready to find and destroy their lair. I chased the survivors into a cave, suddenly deep in the darkness. Small green silhouettes lunged at me. They dropped from the ceiling in ambush. I tightened the grip on my sword, delivering a clean, lightning-fast strike. One swift move was all I needed. Head and body hit the floor separately. As for the other two, Hemming caught them midair. Perks of night vision crunch. How terrifying. But then the tunnel suddenly glowed. Countless torches appeared around the bend. A massive wave was heading my way. My face tensed time for a tactical retreat, a swarm of hideous shadows. They were literally crawling up the walls. I screamed for Hemming, face full of dread. Hemming's body hit a terrifying growth spurt, skill activated. He charged like a beast. He sent those goblins flying into orbit. Goblins were exploding in every direction. Hemming was turning them into pancakes. Their squishy bodies just couldn't take it. Nothing left but a fresh batch of jam. Then a deafening savage roar rocked the cave. Check out that neck, thick matted fur everywhere. The guy's muscles had their own muscles. He was built like a literal apartment complex. A colossal nightmare stepped out of the dark. He gave Hemming the ultimate death stare. My heart sank. This was bad news. It's a freaking troll. The beast went full speed, charging ahead. The whole cavern started to rumble. Each step felt like a mini earthquake. Hemming didn't blink. He charged straight back. Hemming's claws glowed with a dark, sinister aura. He landed the first blow on that hide, only 4 shallow scratches. You're kidding me. The pain just made the troll saltier. Huge, meaty hands snatched Hemming midair. Then, bam. A massive, violent headbutt pinned down. Hemming got slammed into the dirt. Yikes, blood was leaking from his maw. He let out a pained, heartbreaking howl. My buddy was losing. I had to act. Class skill activated. Time for reinforcement. A 20% boost to all base stats. Glowing white threads of light began swirling. They wrapped around Hemming like a hero. Sudden reversal. Hemming flipped that ugly troll chomp. He ripped a stake right out. The troll's eyes went red with rage. He just triggered his bloodlust skill. It became a total mosh pit of teeth. The brawl was getting wilder by the second. I just focused on holding that buff. The struggle reached a total fever pitch. I kept pouring mana into that reinforcement while spamming recovery spells like crazy. The massive ruckus echoed for hundreds of meters. The students who heard it were totally floored. Bone Forest bosses. Our level 12 at least. What kind of psycho fights that? Suddenly, a trio of students, lured by the noise, arrived. They hoped to help and snatch some sweet loot. But when they arrived, their jaws hit the floor. It wasn't a team raid, it was just me solo. I delivered the final sword strike. The health bar above the troll hit 0. During the whole fight, nobody dared to step in. Liuman and Liu Ruyan were there, watching the scene totally dazed. How did this little pup become a monster today? Then a squad of 4 approached me. It was Jialian from the elite class. He spoke up with a smirk. I never expected our school to have a freak like you. Your summon looks pretty beat up. Need a hand? We've got a Saint Priest on our team with top-tier healing skills. Before he could even finish, Jialian took a kick from the pretty girl standing right behind him. I just smiled and said no thanks. I've got this. They prepared to walk away, but as they left, they saw my displayed score. 5,320. Liu Ruyan almost dropped an F-bomb. Right at that moment, she stomped over, face beat red. The second she reached me, Emming's blood-red eyes glared coldly. She froze instantly, chilled deep. Her legs just quit on her. Her brain was pure chaos. I didn't even look back, once fearing I'd fall for her charm. With that, back to the cave. I let Emming keep leveling up. Once he devoured every single monster, an energy cocoon wrapped him. Talk about an overpowered evolution, I just wonder how much power he'll unleash now. Soon enough, sharp claws ripped the light apart. Emming emerged, looking absolutely massive. His fur turned a majestic icy blue. He scored some sick new skills: intimidation, fire, and a talent rank up. A total transformation. Only 1 hour left on the clock. Riding atop Emming, we hunted for more monster dens. 10 minutes flew by fast. Then we reached it, another boss's home turf. Shadow Emperor level 15, Twisted Tree. Outside, watching me charge in, Lin Mincy's face looked worried. He knew this Tree King with its massive health and attack was way tougher than any troll, and I was only level 4. Beating it would be a miracle. Talk about a national level feat. Inside the dungeon, as I stepped into the mud, red-eyed trees began to stir one by one. Their massive trunks split wide, revealing a terrifying dark gap. These trees just uprooted themselves. Dozens of sharp branches lunged forward, eager to turn me into a kebab. But fear, that's not in my vocabulary. I charged straight ahead, instantly unsheathing my scepter's hidden blade, and delivered 5 strikes in a heartbeat. I was moving so fast that I left after images behind. Those branches were sliced into firewood. My gaze turned cold. I closed the distance instantly. My blade dove for his leg's weak spot, carving out a massive rift. A fountain of sticky sap came spraying out like a geyser. His health bar hit 0 instantly. Timber, but seeing their buddy die, the entire forest just got triggered. That's when Hemming let out a savage roar and shredded a tree with one single brutal swipe. Then some edgy black flames erupted from his body, engulfing him completely. They ignited the tree ants, spreading like a viral wildfire. The tree ants were screaming in leafy agony. No matter how hard they struggled, they couldn't douse those black flames. That fire was literally eating their life force to stay lit. Even I was a little shocked. I didn't think Hemming's fire was this ridiculously overpowered. In no time, the tree ants were just a pile of ash. The black flames then retreated back into Hemming. This cheat code fire lets him skip the whole eating raw meat thing. He just absorbs pure energy. Talk about efficient grinding. We both leveled up at the same time. My score shot to 7,120. Right then, the ground just straight up exploded. Countless golden spikes, each as thick as gym arms, lunged to shred us. A wild, hangry roar echoed nearby. 100 tree mobs guarded a king over 100 meters tall, appearing slowly. I quietly took a step back. Even if my base stats are over 50 points right now, fighting that is basically pure suicide. I'm a pro at knowing limits. A boss this beefy, that's Emming's job. Definitely letting the summon handle this. Emming's eyes went full beast mode. Pitch black flames erupted all over him. He jumped into his final form and charged the ugly treant king. Black flames were snacking on everything. The tree mobs were screaming in pain. I waited for the chance to steal the kill, seeing his squad get roasted alive. The ugly king laughed like a maniac. Golden branches rained down on Emming, who ignored defense and just dashed straight for the king's main body. Emming's claws were super sharp. He unleashed arcs of dark light, shredding that royal bark like crazy. basically peeling him like a grape. The king's wooden face twisted hard. Branches tried skewering him from everywhere, but Emming just tanked it like a boss, trading hits with zero chill left. Black fire started to slowly climb up the king's massive trunk. The monster's eyes were full of terror. He felt his life bar hitting zero. The big tree was officially terrified. He tried to run for it, but Emming let out another savage roar. Suddenly, black flames chained him down. Emming's attacks got even more aggressive. Then Jiaolian and the others arrived. The would-be heroes gulped in fear. Pure shock was written on them. A level 15-second tier beast. The Troll King was being manhandled. Their arrival surprised me as well. Suddenly, a massive crash shook everything. The Troll King was totally erased. White light erupted from my core. I finally hit level 8. My score skyrocketed another 3,000. I left the last few trolls. Let them take 4 kills. Farming points is way too easy. Miao Shanshin's jaw hit the floor. In 10 minutes, our scores met top academy admission standards. Before today, we used to struggle so hard. Against every single monster, Zhao simply shook his head. Chenlin's hemming is insane. He's on a different level. No matter how we killed, none of us looked back. Just then, those dark flames recoiled back into Hemming's body. Hemming's height hit 7 meters. Every stat passed 70 points. I finally reached level 10, first class change. Here I come. The entrance exam is over. Forced teleportation has now begun. In blinding white light, all students vanished. Returning to the main plaza, cheers erupted from the crowd. 7-meter-tall Hemming loomed. He stayed crouched by me, imposing and perfectly still. He actually grabbed first place. Liming C and the teachers celebrated. Their faces were bright red. He really took first place. The excited staff looked flushed. Old man, this is terrifying. He's got 3 different talents, and his personal combat power is straight up ridiculous. A summoner soloing this many bosses, that is literally unheard of in history. Pops, you really hit the student jackpot this time. Move. Let's get going already. We need to give Chen Lin a hero's welcome. An impatient Limingxi dragged the group along with him. Across the plaza, the atmosphere turned sour. Lu Ruian's face was pale with a mask of regret. She bailed on the dungeon early and got disqualified. Her score won't even get her into a top academy. In her mind, everything was all his fault. His summon wasn't weak, it was a literal beast. But he never told me his true strength. If only I had known the truth back then. I never would have teamed up with that loser Julian. Her eyes darkened as the salt settled in. Meanwhile, the spotlight shifted elsewhere. Su Lingshu was swarmed by a mob of teachers, and the principal of school number 3. Heavy sighs echoed through the crowd around them. School number 2 really struck gold today. To think they produced such a monster prodigy. Hey Su Lingshu, don't let it get to you. 19,500 is still an elite score. Su Lingshu forced a smile to play it cool, but his gaze drifted toward his rivals. With a pensive look at school number 2, that's when the provincial rankings finally went live. Boom, number 1 spot, yours truly, obviously. Honestly, Ming is a literal cheat code. Not only is his growth potential infinite, but his raw combat power becomes more terrifying. With every single evolution, I'm already itching to see my next summon. After heading back to the house, I dropped the bombshell on my family. Plus, that sweet 1 million yuan reward for taking the crown was just wired directly to my bank account. Now mom and sis can finally relax. Our days of penny pinching are officially over. Then I headed back to my room to prep. It was time to get ready for what's next. It was time for my first class advancement. The moment of evolution finally arrived. Requirement: clear a reincarnation dungeon via random matchmaking. Staring at the floating quest panel, I slapped that class change button. Zero hesitation, just pure hype. My bedroom vanished in a flash. Coordinates locked 08694. Welcome to a wasteland on the brink. Humanity's last flame is about to flicker out. Will you be a savior or the destroyer? Optional Quest 1, slay 1,000 scourge beasts. 3, protect the survivors with your life. Then there is Optional Quest 2. Help the Scourge Mother devour everything to evolve. Number of participants, 10 souls. Time remaining 24 hours. Warning, no manual exit until completion. Without a second's warning, I was dropped into a world of ruins. I scanned the area and frowned. Without thinking twice, I locked in the first quest path. Help the Scourge Mother devour the world. Please, my prestige wouldn't allow that. Just then, a sudden crash. A body came flying out, smashing through a nearby glass door. Shards of glass rained down everywhere as a small girl hit the pavement. A skinless, blood-red horror lunged forward, screaming out from the dark shop's depths. She reached desperately for her fallen blade, but she was way too slow. The shadow of death loomed over her. In a blind panic, she threw up her hands to hide. Xing A, silver arc sliced the air. The monster's head went flying instantly. The headless carcass collapsed in the dirt. I looked down at the shocked girl. Yo, the name's Chen Lin. I needed some answers about this dump, but the poor thing. She was still paralyzed by pure terror. Boom, warning siren scream. Tactical retreat, Louis Hugh grabs me. Move it now. Before he finishes, a car comes zooming straight at us. I snatch Louis Hugh back and brace my staff horizontally. Time to play bumper cars. I skid 10 meters before stopping. Louis Hugh sprints over, ignoring pain. You good? Still got limbs? I settle my wild energy. I look up at the threat. A two-legged freak is waiting. A disaster beast covered in needles. A Dalmo, no running now. Louis Hugh's grim. His hand grips tight, like his life depends on it. The Dalmo picks up speed. One heartbeat later, the ground beneath it shatters. Here comes a full-power charge. Before he blinks, a shadow blurs past. I lunge straight at the monster. I unsheath my staff, blade clashing with the monster's claws. Steel screams against steel. The Dalmo howls in rage. Its second arm swings for me. I shove it back. Sword throw it. Louis Hugh reacts instantly. He grabs his blade without hesitation. He unsheaths it and tosses it. Time for round 2, beastie. Feeling insulted, the Dalmo charges, swinging its blades like a maniac. Fear not in my dictionary. Blade in each hand, let's go. In 5 seconds, we trade hits, leaving only blurry afterimages. After a million strikes, I spot the gap. I tilt my head, dodging death. My left-hand blade moves instantly, striking up with precision. It clean cuts the Dalmo's arm. Too fast for a reaction, I thrust my sword home. Piercing straight through his hide, Louis rubs his battered arm. He limps over and asks, "Not from around here, huh?" I deadpan, so explain this world. It's the Nietzsche. A whole month. People couldn't take the torture. The agony was too much. They snapped and went insane, turning into mindless killing machines. Now the Nietzsche has evolved. It's warping the entire land. Humanity's survival is looking grim. After hearing this lore dump, I finally understood this mess. Suddenly, 10 people burst out, faces twisted in pure panic. "Why are you still here? Run!" the tall leader screamed. Then the ground started shaking, a furious torrent charging us. Dozens of scourge dragons overhead, roars erupted from every side. Disaster beasts appeared everywhere, perched atop the skyscrapers. Bloodthirsty eyes locked onto us. Instantly, they formed a wall. We were completely pinned down. As they closed in, everyone's legs turned to lead. Despair flooded their trembling hearts. Every survivor swallowed hard. "Shao, you stay right behind me." Lulu glances at me suspiciously. She thinks I'm some amateur, just another lucky survivor. But I didn't even blink. I walked straight into danger. Wait, stop. You're walking into a trap. Forget the lone wolf hero act. A devilish smirk spread across my face. No, not quite. I'm not trapped with them. They're trapped with me. If I butcher every one of these scourge freaks, my ranking is going to hit the stratosphere. In a blinding flash of white light, Emming's 7 meters of pure muscle arrived instantly. His roar literally rattled the heavens. Emming's ice-cold gaze locked on the targets trembling before him, a disgusting wave of scourge filth. He went straight into his colossal form. Boom. He shot up to 28 meters. A massive titan towering over the city buildings. Emming flexed every fiber of his limbs, and the ground shattered into a million pieces. Like a guided missile, he dove into the middle of the monster mosh pit. Amidst the searing white-hot heat, the creatures couldn't survive more than a heartbeat before screaming their way to the grave. They were nothing but monster-flavored protein now. The backup squad, watching from the sidelines, could only stare with their jaws on the floor. Suddenly, 10 creeps tried to jump me. Lulu screamed a warning, thinking I was toast. She rushed over trying to save the day, but a second later, she completely froze. Instead of running, I charged right back with my blades, singing a song of death. I carved them up like Sunday roast. In the blink of an eye, every single monster was turned into scrap metal. Lulu's brain practically short-circuited. He doesn't have a single scourge mutation. He should be a total weakling. Suddenly, a terrifying memory flashed through Lulu's mind. 6 months back, while hunting for supplies, she encountered humans who were just as terrifying. Without mutations, those monsters had pulverized the survivors' secret hideout. They fed those poor people to the hungry scourge monsters, who finished them off in a bloodbath. And whenever survivors tried to bolt, they just snapped their legs. Total monsters with zero humanity. He actually said we're the same. Lulu never forgot that insult. But Chenin, he's built different. He saved my hide twice. Reading Lulu's mind like a book, Lulu scrambled to explain. Lulu took a deep breath, eyes glowing with pure hate. Whatever, just stay away for right now. He's a literal monster magnet. Let's use him to cheese them. But as he got closer, lightning gatecrashed the party. Access denied losers, this golden-haired pretty boy. Book in hand struts out. As Goldie starts his, chanting, spheres of electric death popped up everywhere. Right then my face instantly changed as I panic-blocked a side swipe with my trusty blade. Clang, a rapier slams my steel. A total 10 out of 10 beauty appeared. Talk about a dramatic entrance. I didn't hesitate. The blade went for her waist, but she pulled a ninja vanish, blinking 30 yards away in silence. I put my leg day power to work and lunged. Seeing me coming, she screamed for backup. You just gonna watch. Before the words even landed, a firestorm erupted from a building. They collided in forbidden fireworks. You're a summoner, really? Buff fire guy scoffed mid-flames. The heat was roasting my face. My gaze remained stone cold. I parried him effortlessly. 4 fools jumped out now. Inside these reincarnation instances, murdering players is strictly forbidden. Any violation triggers an immediate high-tier bounty notice, except in faction-based dungeons. Didn't think they'd be that dumb. Listen, Dacia Mission 1 losers. Have you guys truly never seen a reincarnation dungeon? Survival requires actual brain cells. Calamity faction has better buffs. Only an idiot chooses differently. But these 6 clowns think I'm their easy prey. I just asked them casually. Heard this saying before, the most dangerous hunters often look like weak prey. Since I lured you out easily, obviously I have a plan to slaughter you all. Your speeches were quite funny. For your grand prize, how about I gift death? A dark grin slowly formed. Dinner is finally served. Let the feast begin. Yuming. A brutal roar erupted suddenly, unleashing ink-black demonic flames, burning for hundreds of meters. A giant black wolf appeared. Instantly, he grew 8 meters taller, looking more savage and intimidating. Primal fear gripped them all, seeing that beast charge them. Suddenly, pure terror consumed those 4 men, from their toes to skulls. Their minds almost snapped from the horror. Finally, the massive black wolf raised its claws to strike. 3 of them actually regained their senses, just in time. They scattered like roaches to dodge, but for the last unlucky soul, there wasn't even time to squeak. The giant wolf shredded him instantly. Talk about a total nightmare. The others were shaking. In their boots, they thought stalling the summon was easy. Big mistake. A summoner with high combat power is fine. But this beast, besides its sheet-level strength and raw power, it packs heavy area control skills too. Forget about stalling. Surviving for more than 3 minutes would be a total miracle. Seeing an opening, the dark wolf pounced on the nearest target. The blonde guy gnashed his teeth. He began chanting spells at high speed. Violent bolts of lightning crackled instantly. They coiled together, forming massive heavy chains that locked the wolf's limbs and chest tight. Kill it, now, hurry, I can only hold it for 10 seconds. He hadn't even finished his sentence when the wolf simply flexed its right paw. The lightning chains shattered like fragile glass. How is this even happening? That was my innate talent. The blonde guy was completely stunned. Thanks to my reinforcement buff, Hemming's power just reached a new peak. Seeing that everyone stopped holding back, they all revealed their hidden trump cards. The woman transformed into multiple shadows, ambushing me from every possible direction. Suddenly, a sea of frozen ice spears materialized above her, and the drop began. A literal hailstorm of pain, right on her face, forcing her to retreat. A girl with hair like frozen moonlight drifted forward. Frost slowly crawled across the ground beneath her feet, right on cue. The nearest calamity beasts became instant ice sculptures. Leave her to me. That beefy tank wreathed in roaring hellfire, lunged straight for her. The 3 others jumped me simultaneously, aiming to end me right then. That's when a massive roar erupted, and those 3 brats were targeted right between the eyes. Skill activated, taunt instantly. They turned with hateful glares toward the hulking giant brandishing a shield. Right after the giant shadow wolf appeared behind the 3 men who'd lost it. The next second, their fate was sealed. The 3 were each sliced into 4 pieces. Immediately, Emming turned to charge, slamming into a nearby building. Countless pieces of debris flew straight toward the young woman. Those stone fragments tore her clothes and pierced her skin. Emming caught her in a split second. He swung his claw down and dark flames consumed her body entirely. Elsewhere, a glacial torrent suddenly exploded. Everything in its way, building and beast, became a frozen statue. That beefy guy, instantly a human popsicle. Out of 7 prey, only 1 remained. Then every single gaze, heavy with murderous intent, turned toward the blonde pretty boy. The blonde kid's face went white. He spammed a lightning volley before turning tail to run away. I dodged his attacks with a few jumps, then with a simple backhand. Then with a casual backhand. That blonde kid. He got totally dismantled. My voice echoed as I asked, "Know the legendary Doom Mother Beast?" He gave a grim nod. She's the monster that evolved. Out of a billion Doom Beasts. A creature that actually grew a brain. We're hunting the mother. I agreed. Slaying her is the only way. To get that juicy high score, it's also the only way. To give this world a prayer. Then Siling Shoes strolls up. "Hey Chen, Lin crap." Before I react, big guy yells. Totally shocked. "Wait, big brother. You're the legendary Winter Guardian. No wonder you're a total monster." We chatted for a bit and our trio's bond started leveling up. Found out the tank's name, Liu Xiang. I dropped the plan, hunt the mother. They agreed instantly. No questions asked. We moved out toward the downtown. We hit a massive bridge fast. Suddenly, 1,000 red eyes started popping out of the dark. They swarmed us like a tidal wave. Liu Xiang unleashed an intimidation wave. He charged right into the swarm. As dark flames exploded everywhere, I stayed stone-faced and calm. The mother has eyes on us. Su Lingshu's eyes glowed a lethal ice blue, looking like a silent frozen god. In the blink of an eye, thousands of razor-sharp ice spears materialized right above his head with just a single mental command. That frozen artillery rained down, shredding the monsters trying to flank us from the back. Beast after beast was skewered, falling over like bowling pins. But more just kept on coming. Every monster in the damn city. They were swarming us from every angle. I could feel the pressure peaking. Hundreds of thousands of these creeps, maybe 1 million doom beasts in the city. Even going full beast mode, we weren't clearing this map today. So I yelled, "Chop the snake's head." Imming go geek. That doom mother hearing me, he didn't blink. Imming spun and bolted for the bridge. On the far side, a seriously sketchy aura was waiting. Yup, the doom mother herself. The moment Imming crossed the bridge, a massive red tentacle whipped out and slapped him into next week. Imming flew through several buildings that fell like a stack of pancakes. He finally stopped 60 feet away. Imming let out a furious roar that cleared the dust. He stood from the monster trash looking totally stone cold. His eyes locked on the boss, a giant eyeball 60 meters wide. And guess what? 1,000,000 tiny eyes stared back. Imming's edgy, dark flames flared up with pure rage. He didn't wait, he charged. He became a literal black bolt. Under his powerful dash, the nearby ruins started shaking. Every tiny eye on that giant meatball suddenly twitched at the same time. 15 tentacles slammed toward Imming. With doom ropes coming, Imming pulled some matrix moves. When he couldn't dodge, black light coated his claws for a counter. But it sounded like iron grinding against solid steel. Wham! Slapped by a tentacle, sent flying back. All that hard-earned distance vanished in seconds. Before this, Imming was a total muscle head. With cheat-level power, he was a brawl god. Total peak dominance. But now, against this creepy eyeball, he's getting wrecked. With a roar, his black flames go nuclear. Searing heat explodes instantly, torching everything in sight. Imming's going full power, burning mana insanely fast. It's a win or die gamble. My face turns pale. Through our soul link, I feel his health dropping. Suddenly, Su Lynx's eyes open, glowing with icy light, glacial annihilation. The air turns bone dry, endless. Disaster beasts turn to ice, shattering into tiny shards. Seeing the opening, I made my move. Time to find Boss Mama. We need that evolution now. We reached the city center. Then a massive roar echoed. We just charged forward. We finally found Imming, bloodied and dying. Yet he's still hanging on. Despite those nasty purple tentacles, he won't budge. He's crawling forward with pure stubborn grit. I yelled, Imming, eat those disaster beasts. I immediately spammed recovery and buff spells on him. A soft white light completely wrapped around Hemming. Roaring fiercely, Hemming swatted the tentacles and charged the horde. His black flames bloomed like a deadly lotus flower. The giant eye realized it had a huge problem. It ordered a retreat, but it was already too late. Endless dark flames surged back into Hemming's massive body. Without hesitation, I clicked Restart Evolution in the menu. A terrifying shadowy power erupted from deep within him. It exploded into a dark pillar reaching the sky. Hemming's body instantly grew over 100 meters tall. System, your summon has learned the Doom Oath skill. System, your summon gained the new Adamantium Horn talent. Every single attribute just increased by 60 points. Whew, I can finally breathe after that massive upgrade. Hemming fixed his cold gaze on the giant eye. His body was reborn, fur shimmering with golden light. He radiated a divine imperial aura like a god. The giant eye's pupils began to shake with terror. When that power exploded, the monster was completely paralyzed. Even that hungry beast was now unable to move. But its fear quickly turned into a bottomless rage. It believed it could evolve by devouring others too. It wanted to become the one and only supreme. Massive purple tentacles slammed down, making the air scream. Hemming stood firm like a rock and didn't move. 15 purple tentacles lashed against his massive body. Hemming just unlocked the new Adamantium Horn talent. All stats boosted by 60 points across the board. What a relief. Now that is a power-up. Hemming stared down that creepy giant floating eyeball. His body was renewed, his fur looking majestic. Every strand emitted a faint divine golden glow. He was giving off serious godlike imperial vibes. The giant eye's pupils were literally shaking. The moment that dark power exploded, it happened. The beast was paralyzed by that terrifying aura. It wanted a snack, but now it's stuck. Its fear was instantly replaced by endless fury. It also wanted to evolve by eating others. It dreamed of becoming the ultimate supreme being. Massive purple tentacles crashed down in one blow, ripping the air apart. Solid as a rock, Hemming didn't budge. 15 purple tentacles lashed his body. Black flames exploded, barely flicking his golden aura. It was pure greed fused with raw, concentrated power. Instantly, a massive silhouette began to emerge. A 400-meter-tall tyrannical nightmare. Within a blink, the entire surrounding kilometer transformed into a literal ocean of black fire. Hemming charged that giant eye head-on. As he raised those deadly claws, his beastly specter did the exact same. The condensed flame claws absolutely crushed it. Several of that giant eye's pupils were instantly popped like balloons. It let out a truly pathetic shriek. Tentacles lashed at Hemming in a panic, but they couldn't even scratch the guy. The giant eye roared in fury, sucking in all that wicked energy. It fused instantly with its ugly body. Suddenly, its size increased by a ton. Countless razor-sharp spikes started growing all over its massive tentacles. Those nasty red tentacles. This was the hidden power it saved, to evolve into its next life stage. Too bad it is wasting it now. The dark red tentacles swarmed Hemming from every possible angle. The two rivals clashed in pure frenzy, making the ground shake without end. Roars echoed through the entire sky. Hours passed in this total chaos. Amidst the smoking ruins, Hemming was the only one standing. As the giant eye's pupils dimmed, its body was slowly being devoured, eaten whole by those hungry black flames. At that moment, Su Lingshu and I laughed. You are just a calamity, mother beast. With several thousand tiny calamity beasts, you are our ticket to a high score. Then a sweet notification sounded. You are just a calamity, mother beast. With several thousand tiny calamity beasts, you are our ticket to a high score. Then a sweet notification sounded. Just like that, the three of us vanished. Time synchronization complete. Calculating your score based on your epic performance. You have slain 8,560 calamitous beasts and successfully crushed the calamitous mother beast. Congratulations. You achieved a perfect god tier score. Your class has evolved into Soul Master Summoner. Rarity, unique and ultra rare. A bizarre new class born entirely from you. Pure excellence. New class skill unlocked arcane blade condensation skill effect description. A blade flickering between reality and illusion that completely ignores all physical defenses. It inflicts unique soul-shattering mental trauma. I stared at the screen, totally shook, bypassing physical armor, to strike the target's mind directly. That means, as long as they lack mental defense, they can be one-shotted instantly. This skill is literally goosebump-inducing. A sword etched with mysterious runes materialized right in my hand, but my spiritual energy was instantly and totally drained dry to form this blade. I shook it off and dismissed the sword. Looks like this skill is strictly my ultimate last resort. I smirked and checked my phone. After accepting friend requests from Hong Yi, Li Huan, and Su Links 2, a message from Li Huan popped up. Top-tier Academy scouts are arriving today at exactly 2 p.m. Get to school pronto. I thought about it, and since I was bored anyway, I stood up and headed out. At Fanon High number 2, Li Huan was already waiting by the gates. She spotted me and rushed over immediately. You're finally here, lazybones. 5 elite academies arrived today. Their scouts swarmed the school. Fania City is totally buzzing. I followed Liu Hen inside. He revealed a dragon ring. Here's your official city reward. It's packed with legendary gear. And those essential skill books, jackpot. My eyes literally sparkled. Exactly what I needed now. My basic sword was trashed. Too many high-stakes brawls. It was basically a toothpick. I snatched the dragon ring. My mind dived right in. 2 item stats popped up. First, the Tianshan Omniscient Blade. Vast Sky Form Elite Blessing. It is literally indestructible, guys. Celestial Fall grants Wisdom Aura. It restores infinite spirit energy. Plus 50% skill boosts. Next 2 epic skill manuals. One's called Within Arm's Reach. Instant 100-meter teleport. Bro, yes. Looking at this broken loot, I was feeling like God. 201 black sedan. Parked right at the gates. 2 powerhouse players stepped out. Liu Hen got super serious. Zero room for mistakes here. These elite scouts are monsters. Definitely high-rank martial transfigured. Even mayors bow to them. We hit the VIP lounge. I stayed cool and asked, so where is Sheila? Anyway, doors opened. Time to shine. He scammed me like groceries. Huh, not bad, kid. With that protagonist energy, join my academy, Youngke smirked. Fang Yi was totally salty. That noisy crowd was enough. Wait, does Yunki Academy only recruit pretty faces now? He turned my way and dangled a massive carrot. Chen Lin, join my Kingdom Academy instead. Any resources you want, yours for the taking. Seriously, only 3 items as a welcome gift. That's not a gift, that's just straight up charity. You're totally undervaluing the Winter Laureate right now. Yeah, preach it. Chen Lin, he's totally looking down on you. Don't go there just to be humiliated. Lai Mingzi and Lo Wen were speechless at this scene. The atmosphere turned thick with tension instantly. Anyone who dared to bid got jumped immediately. The situation was descending into pure chaos. Jifei took a breath while staring me down. Suddenly, he stepped up to speak. You've reached the first awakening, right? I bet you haven't even started summoning yet. Join Yunke, and I'll petition the higher-ups directly. I'll get you the absolute best summoning materials. Your Black Wolf has incredible growth potential. Ask for anything including the Somnua resource, hearing that the other four went silent. Even for them, those terms were insanely generous. This year has 10 candidates over 20,000 points. Overspending on the laureate might screw us later. The four gave up and retreated in silence. I simply gave him a slow head shake. The rest is fine, but forget the Somnua. Jifei's tensed-up brows finally relaxed. Delighted, he added, if you like older men, hey. I tried to explain, but words failed me. In the end, I chose Yunke Academy. Not because Jifei was particularly handsome, though. Mostly because he just offered way too much. I just gave a slow head shake. The rest is fine, but skip the sleeping part. Jifei's expression finally loosened up. Thrilled, he added one more thing. If you like a mature, I'm available. I wanted to say that's not it, but the words got stuck in my throat. Regardless, I still picked Yunke Academy. Not because he was exceptionally good-looking, but because his bribe was just too massive. Fast forward a bit. The first day of school had arrived. Yunke Academy, Zhongtian City's elite school. The heart of Juzong Province. The nation's most gifted students gathered here, every single one a top-tier genius. I walked into a random dorm room. Inside, it was fully loaded, with all the gear and essentials. Suddenly, my special device began to vibrate. A new message popped up. Your summoning materials are now approved. Yi, tell me if you need anything else. I'll do anything to get them. Thanks. Right after sending that, Yifei leaned back in his fancy seat. Wu Yi stood nearby, looking totally baffled. But boss, those resources could have recruited 4 different provincial-level champions. That's a massive investment. It's worth way more than Chen Lin. If I'm being totally honest, he doesn't deserve even half of that. Yifei just gave him a knowing smile. The freshman tournament starts tomorrow. You'll see exactly what he's worth then. I laid the summoning items on the floor. I reached my hand into thin air. As I cast the summoning spell, the room exploded with blinding white light. A few minutes later, appearing before me was a creature with twin crimson wings, a 60-centimeter pure silver butterfly. Not another useless piece of junk, I hope. My lip did a little nervous dance. I quietly pulled up its stat window. Summon Indie. Level 1. Strength 1. Constitution 1. Agility 1. Magic 1. Just 4 base points, 1. That's even worse than Hemming. I could only shake my head. It's officially the weakest summon ever recorded. But hey, that's fine. I'll give you infinite potential. I'm staring down this silver disc. It floats over and I snag it. 3. Time for a deep scan. Max loyalty, 0 betrayal, let's link souls. Right after I hit confirm, boom, instant soul-crushing pain. It feels like I'm being torn. Pure power erupts from my gut. Jackpot, you got lucky, kid. Your summoned pet just woke up. It's a triple S rank unique talent, Divine Metamorphosis. Talk about broken. It can basically turn into anything to copy all the skills, right then and there. My boy Indy starts transforming. He glows neon and copies me. In a total robot voice, he's like, Master, I've scanned myself. I'm overpowered. Witness the power of Divine Metamorphosis. I pop this box open. Inside, some shiny new combat gear. I point a finger at Indy and start a brain chat. Indy gives me a cool nod. He turns to light and grabs me. Suddenly, a full suit of armor glitters in silver and covers me. It fits like a second skin. It was almost as if this steel was part of me. I'm feeling myself. This Divine Metamorphosis, it can get even tougher now. By devouring some high-grade metals, just like my gluttonous greed skill. This thing is an absolute beast. It'll just keep evolving forever. Dreaming of all that power, I start training the silver disc. I shoot a text to Jifei's. Yo, I need some fancy metals, with some very specific stats. Barely 30 minutes later, the loot drops and I'm notified. Just a pile of rare ores, all sorts of treasures. Each one is a top-tier resource. Back in my private room, I fuse the silver disc with minerals. Instantly, the armor on my body becomes incredibly indestructible. Even a second specialization pro couldn't leave a single scratch. And the best part, it weighs 5 tons now, yet feels totally weightless to me. But if I crushed an enemy, it would be like a mountain falling. Stepping into the lounge, my 3 roommates hear me and look completely stunned. A guy steps up mentioning Feng Wai, the 15-year-old provincial runner-up who hit the highest score with just an ordinary class. It sounds impressive, sure. But wasn't it just pure luck? A god-tier summon carried him. This icy dude is hating hard. He was Longzi Province's number 2. With 23,000 exam points, he thinks Feng Wai was lucky to be around weak geniuses. To him, taking first place there is just being king of losers. Feng Wai merely smirks. Look, if a legendary beast answered his call like that, it proves that Shenlin has some serious secret power. Before a fight breaks out, a voice echoes through the academy. All freshmen grab your weapons and assemble at Yan Kinchao Square. The freshman tournament is starting 2 whole weeks early. Already Wang gasps from the sofa. Meanwhile, those mutant beasts are swarming outside the city. The monster tide is rising fast. The academy is tossing us in. Our job, exterminate every single one of those mutants. Hearing that, I just kept quiet. Visions of the reincarnation dungeon returned. That hellscape again. Didn't think Maxine would face this exact same disaster so quickly. I thought silently. Suddenly, Mr. Edgelord's arrogant voice cut the air. Perfect timing for this change, Chen Lin. I'll wreck you and prove I'm the real top dog here. Number 1 gave me the stink eye, so I smirked. Fine, let's see who's actually the boss. But spoiler, it's gonna be me. I'll crush them all. The fresh meat started lining up one by one. The squad leader just sighed. Bottom-tier losers get a special prize. Mandatory monster hunting outside the walls. Level up or die academy style. The secretary nodded at him. She stepped up, clutching her digital tablet. The freshman grand competition starts right now. Destination A level 20 to 30 death trap. Welcome to Rift Canyon. This big brawl decides who gets the loot. Your future's set. As she finished, the gates groaned open, releasing pure dread. The pressure was insane. Some kids were literally shaking. Their teeth were chattering away. A prank, right? I haven't even had my first class change. How are we supposed to survive? That Luoxian was scanning the crowd anxiously. He spotted his golden ticket, the Great Lin. Big guy Luoxian came charging over, towing along a short-haired demon girl. He claimed he'd enroll here with me. I thought he was capping. The madman actually did it. Meet my sis, Lu Yoning. I just stood there. Lu Yoning hid shyly behind her brother, whispering in a tiny voice. I sighed, resigned, and sent the group invite. Seeing me carry these two noobs, Mr. Pokerface over there gave me a massive judgmental scowl. Before entering, he spat out coldly. Don't fail too pathetically, Shen Lin. I gave him the silent treatment. Boom, we vanished in an instant. Soon every student entered the rift. One of the instructors waved his hand to cast a high-def water projection spell. Rift Canyon spans hundreds of miles, like a massive death trap labyrinth. We barely arrived before a roar erupted right in our faces. Perfect time to test my true power. With one thought, a silver butterfly appeared in a blinding white flash. At that exact moment, my badass silver battle armor equipped. I reached out and my scepter blade manifested instantly in my hand. I unsheathed my silverback sword and launched myself forward. My silhouette flickered away, reappearing right before the monsters dozens of meters ahead instantly. Talk about point-blank range. A skill usually meant for escaping, but I use it for hunting. I brought down my celestial blade, slicing through them like butter. It tore through several monster bodies with effortless, deadly fluidity. Without stopping for air, my movements became a total blur, piercing every last one. The monsters couldn't even react. They collapsed with total what the fuck looks. Huochin cheered with pure hype. Lin, you're an absolute beast. We're just gonna go away from keyboard. Meanwhile, in the dungeon experience, points are absolutely exploding. This is the joy of being carried by a pro outside instructors. Watching the chaos, we're totally losing it. That insane speed and damage. It rivals even the legendary hidden melee specialist classes. Those raw-based stats are utterly broken. Not even Chen Lin's Second Awakening packs this much physical punching power. One teacher scratched his head, finally asking the real question. What if that silver butterfly is his second summon? A weapon-transforming summon that is unheard of. Even the wise dean was caught off guard seeing that punchable smug grin on the face of Jiang Shi, who just sighed. Currently, however, 10 students are actually outranking Chen Lin. Team scores give basically 0 points. If he only has this trick, he is no future champion. Your future son-in-law. Why let him look so pathetic? Just as he opened his mouth, he got a massive head slap. Fu Shang was drenched in black ichor. Meanwhile, deep inside the dungeon, my silver gear is soaked red. Level 20 mobs, they get one-shotted. I have reached the second evolution's peak. Even against a third-tier powerhouse, I can survive without a scratch. Suddenly, pure darkness flooded into my mind, whispering for me to end it all. I stood there like a statue. Hoxin screamed out, Xiaoning, recall your domain, realizing how terrifying his power truly was. Hoxian immediately shut it down. Relax, I've got this, I grinned. This weak trash doesn't faze me. Only 120 points, lame. Too slow, I need more power, I have to be number 1. Give me those juicy academy resources. For Yingdu and Ming's sake, I need a massive loot mountain. My will manifested into reality. A blinding flash of white light, a savage giant shadow wolf appeared. Its terrifying howl shook the truck. Seeing Emming for the first time, Luoning hid behind me trembling. Go Eming, hunt them down, devour every monster in this cage. Hearing my command, Emming's eyes flared with murderous rage as he vanished. He lunged into the truck's depths. Moments later, the alerts started. My tracker was going absolutely crazy. My points were finally skyrocketing. I took the other path, ready for some serious double farming. Nearby, a lone girl wielded a massive purple lightning dragon, crushing the monster swarm below. The impact shattered the ground. Crimson lightning exploded and raged across 100 meters, vaporizing everything. But the girl looked totally bored. These weaklings are useless. Seeing her sister's psycho mode, Ruolin looked completely hopeless. Suddenly, a suffocating heat rose. Before she could even blink, she saw the fire in Luoying's eyes, pure battle lust, while violet lightning coiled around her spear, targeting a massive stone titan charging. Those predatory pupils were terrifying. But then her face changed. Luo Jin goes full psycho mode, lunging straight for the giant wolf. Watching her little sister charge ahead like a maniac, Ryul used to this nonsense moves with professional ease. She doesn't waste time stacking massive power and defense buffs. With those stats boosted, her combat power instantly doubles. She's finally ready to scrap with a tier 3 boss. When the two titans collide, the impact triggers a massive shockwave. Dust explodes in every direction, but that giant black wolf unscathed. A golden aura drifts around him. Luo Jin's jaw hits the floor. That hit had tier 3 power. How is he not even scratched? Yi Ming gives a cold stare at the human pest beneath him. With one swipe of a terrifying paw, those 3 legendary spirit barriers shatter like cheap glass. Luo Jin gets yeeted into tomorrow. Ryul's heart skips a beat. She clasps her hands, summoning a massive holy icon over 100 feet tall. Guardian Angel Victory, descend now. It is the Angel's Blessing, a literal double S rank talent. A golden shield erupts instantly, wrapping them both in light. Ryul screams, "Get back now." But before she can even blink, Yiming, closing the distance, raises a claw glowing pitch black. That double S rank barrier pulverized. He gives them one icy look, then ignores them like yesterday's trash. The observation room goes dead silent. Every instructor, including Director Fu Sang, is shaking. Is this for real? This is the insane power a summoner should have who just reached their class change only a few short days ago. It is absolutely terrifying. This sheer level of power completely shatters the standard for any second-class evolution, doesn't it? Witnessing this logic-defying display of strength, one thought flashes through everyone's mind. He is invincible at his level, a total monster of this generation. Watching their overwhelming triumph, Jian Yu takes 10,000 points of emotional damage. Such impossible odds, yet he actually won his bet. Is he a true genius or a freak of nature? Over the next 10 hours, Emming slaughters tens of thousands of monsters and deletes 3 rank 3 bosses. He only needs another 1,300 points for his next evolution, and that is just the result of half a day. But the further they go, the harder the grind becomes. Meanwhile, Luoren and Luoning are losing their minds. This is the first time they have leveled up this incredibly fast without even breaking a sweat. I check my data recorder with a smirk. My points have already hit 34,000. Not far away, Emming returns after turning the surroundings into a graveyard. I quickly cast a healing spell on him. Soon, the blinding white light, signaling the end of the dungeon timer, wraps around us and warps us to Yanqiao Square. Countless pairs of shocked eyes instantly lock onto us. All around, the other students look totally defeated, especially that guy with a pathetic face. Drowning in humiliation, he stares at the ground. Imagine being brutally crushed by a single paw strike from a giant wolf. At that moment, the director's secretary screams, "I will now announce the student rankings. First place, Chen Lin, 34,500 points. As those words echo, the entire crowd is left speechless. Mr. Pokerface's eyes bug out as he whips his head around toward the holographic leaderboard. My name is sitting at the very top, leaving everyone else in the absolute dust. The gap below me. It's a total cliff dive. Second place. Feng Yue only has 13,000 points. Talk about a pathetic joke. Mr. Stoic literally cannot believe his own eyes. He's convinced the system just had a massive glitch, and honestly, he's not the only one. The whole crowd is basically short-circuiting right now. How on earth are all the other pros, including the silver medalists, looking so incredibly mid? Seeing the collective brain lag in the room, the secretary steps up to spill the tea. That massive black wolf you guys ran into. Yeah, that was just Chen Lin's personal pet. Most of you tried to act like heroes and got one-shotted into oblivion. Suddenly, every jaw in the room hits the floor in pure shock. Up on the stage, the director's secretary announces, "The freshman tournament is officially over. Rewards are being wired to your accounts. Now scram. You're all dismissed." Back at my private dorm, as I push the door open, Mr. Ice King is looking surprisingly awkward. He fumbles for a second like a nervous side character, then takes a deep breath and mumbles, "Your loot, I mean your gear, showed up. Looks like the second batch of crafting materials. Since you weren't here, I stashed them in your room." I'm low-key surprised, but I just give a cool nod. Thanks. Mr. Pokerface immediately looks away, acting like a total tsundere. I just shrug and head straight to my room. I pop open the massive black crate. And wow, this time. The amount of rare metal is absolutely insane, way more than what I got in the first shipment. If my silver disc devours enough of this metal, not even Emin could dream of breaking its defense. Plus, I might unlock some broken hidden properties. Once this evolution is complete, its defense won't be the only god-tier thing about it. Its raw destructive power is going to become absolute nightmare fuel. I have zero intention of being just another frail, muscle-free summoner. A summoner like that is just a walking target. Once an enemy closes in, I would be toast in a heartbeat. 10 minutes later, the silver disc fused every scrap of metal. Now, its durability is so ridiculous, even a rank 3 fighter couldn't dent it. Plus, it weighs a massive 13 tons. With our powers amplifying each other, one punch would pulverize the earth. Right then, my 50,000 credits from the top freshman reward hit my account. No time to waste, I blew the entire stash. I grabbed dozens of high-tier, power-boosting fruits. Once delivered, I ripped the boxes open. I summoned Emming for a feast. Instantly, heat waves surged, tempering my body. An incredible sensation of power flooded through my veins. Emming's size began to skyrocket. Soon he reached 40 meters tall. Since my Master Summoner promotion, every single level up grants me 5 extra strength points. I have totally glitched the Summoner class. I have evolved from a fragile back row caster who hides like a coward into a total offensive monster. It is finally the first day. Us 4 roomies are in the general class. We spotted Haojian and Hyoni on the way. The second we entered the room, we saw it was already crowded. They all looked completely shell-shocked. A single summon, annihilating the entire competition. That has literally never happened before. Suddenly, 2 figures stepped into view. 2 top-tier twin beauties just arrived. Anjin and Liu Holland scanned the room, then sat right in front of me. Just then, the legendary Jafei's entered the classroom. She glared at us and spoke up. "I'm Jafei's, your homeroom teacher. If you have any problems, please don't come to me. I'm too lazy for your drama." Suddenly, her expression turned deadly serious. "You're all geniuses from different provinces. You fought hard to get in here, probably for those high-end resources, right? Too bad the Lizu clan exists. They've been plotting for literal decades. Their power advantage is now overwhelming. Soon our defenses will get wrecked." Everyone stared at her in total shock. But wait, society seems totally peaceful. Everything is running perfectly right now. There are even new games and shows. Entertainment is booming everywhere. The media says everything is better now. There's zero bad news online. It's all quiet and stable. And yet, she's talking about a total catastrophe. One that's about to hit us. Seeing their confused, shocked faces, Jafei spoke again very slowly. "Isn't it weird how in this world, you never see any high-tier fighters, anyone above rank 5. Like nobody above rank 5 exists, even the army guarding our province. Their strongest are barely rank 4. Hearing that cold realization, the students started doing the math, and realized she was actually right. Logically, rank 5 elites are rare, but they shouldn't be literal unicorns. You should see them occasionally. Yet finding even one is impossible, whether it's on the web or... Suddenly, a chilling realization bloomed within their minds. Elites graduating from the most prestigious hero academies are at least rank 4. Most of these legends charge the front lines instantly. That's why the civilians enjoy peace. Ji-Fei kept talking. News as heavy as this, which could spark massive panic. Obviously, every single nation has banned from being leaked, so the average person is totally in the dark. But here's the real emergency: mutant beast numbers are exploding. If we don't suppress them, those lurking alien races will definitely launch an assault way sooner than we thought. Ji-Fei scanned the classroom. So, time for us to step up. Every academy is deploying their elites to military bases to cull the mutant hordes. Anyone brave enough to volunteer for the front lines to join in this mutant extermination operation, stand up. The moment he finished speaking, chairs screeched across the room. Naturally, I didn't hesitate for a heartbeat. Lao Xiong and Lu Ning stood instantly too. Slaying mutants was always destiny. Just a matter of time. And that time arrived early. Slowly, only half the class remained seated. Seeing this, Ji-Fei smirked. "Half of you volunteered. That's better than I hoped. Everyone move out to the base." One round-shaped kid, still seated, nearly popped his eyeballs out. "Wait, we're going too. You rookies in this class are the academy's elite, so you're definitely coming." The reason for the delay: the army brass wanted to pick volunteers. For their priority experiment, Ji-Fei said stone-faced, "If you're too chicken, then quit Skylark Academy now." 20 students were shaking, but half stood instantly. Ji-Fei marched them outside. At the school gate, dozens of massive armored trucks were waiting. Grumpy soldiers stood guard. As all the students boarded trucks, Skylark turned into a ghost town. Inside, Ji-Fei grabbed files. Destination: the Anduan military fortress base. 900 clicks from town. Near the Beliat Mountains. That massive monster territory spans hundreds of miles. Drone scans show just on the outskirts there are thousands of level 30 beasts. Go a bit deeper and level 50 monsters. are waiting for lunch. You'll be tasked with sweeping the outer zones from the very start. Only our high-tech gear keeps us alive against those massive numbers. Yet, for some mysterious reason, their strikes have turned brutally violent. They're battering our front lines relentlessly from every single angle. Because of this chaos, the vanguard troops for this sweep are way too busy to help. Fast forward 9 hours later, those massive troop transport trucks screeched to a halt as steel doors slid open with a heavy thud. Soldiers clad in blacked-out combat gear stood in perfect dead serious ranks, awaiting us. They saluted in unison. The sight actually gave us chills. Everyone snapped to attention immediately, tossing their chill vibes aside. G5 stepped up, shouting, "Listen up, follow me to the mission hub." We scanned the area while walking. This fortress was absolutely massive, bristling with heavy artillery turrets. The defenses looked totally impenetrable. Moments later, we arrived, reaching the main mission counter. A female officer waiting there handed out sleek black smart bracelets. It looked like our exam gear, but this high-tech beauty packed extra mission and map tools. It even has a panic button. One tap sends an SOS straight to the military base. For an immediate emergency response, they'll deploy a rescue team instantly. Nearby allies get the ping too, so they can jump in fast. Welcome to Xiaowei, ready to serve. To clear these mutants, every student must complete one daily mission. Move out and grab a task now. The smart bracelet let out a beep. I scanned the board's endless missions looking for some safe rank 3 jobs. Suddenly, I felt eyes on me. I spin around to find the siblings tailing me like sad abandoned puppies. With their trash stats, stepping into the wild is basically a death sentence. I can't help but smirk. I guess I'm playing babysitter until the very end. They nod like crazy eyes, sparkling with pure, unadulterated worship. Feng Yu freezes mid-step, his grand plan to recruit Luo Ning instantly derailed. A vein pops on his forehead as irritation flares up. Fine, take the twins, but why is he hogging the best girl too? Li Zongfeng, the wild is brutal. One slip and you are monster chow. How about we party up? You know, for safety reasons. Feng Yu puts on his best worried friend mask, faking concern for the guy. Li Zongfeng just scoffs. Beat it, loser. Go bother someone else. With a look of pure contempt, he grabs a quest and leaves with a support girl. Wake Xiaoyang. We are not done talking yet. But Xiaoyang shuts him down before he can even finish. Don't you have some secret, overpowered combat class hidden away? Quit acting like a weakling and man up already. He was about to invite Luo Ning but freezes in his tracks. Sudden irritation flares up deep inside him. He can deal with the twins being taken. But why is he hogging Luo Ning too? Li Zongfeng, the wild is extremely dangerous for someone like you. One little accident and it is all over. How about we team up to watch each other's backs? Feng Yu turns around, looking totally pathetic, wearing a fake smile while approaching Li Zongfeng. Li Zongfeng barks back, get lost and go play elsewhere. Li Zongfeng shoots him a look of absolute disgust. He locks in his mission and walks off with a girl from the support class. Xiaoyang, hold on, we are not finished yet. But Xiaoyang just cuts him off mid-sentence. You have a hidden combat class, right? Stop lying, stop acting so pathetic, and sell yourself better. Go find some real teammates instead of stalking us. If things get ugly, just scream for help like a pro. If we are nearby, we will at least collect your corpse. Poor Feng Yu suddenly felt a chilling wave of pure saltiness hitting him. A few moments later, I decided to lock in 3 high-rank missions myself. Target 1, hunt the berserk beast 200 kilometers away. Target 2, the legendary Great Dashy Tiger. And finally, the terrifying Blood Spirit Crocodile. Every mutant's hiding spot is locked, using high-tech micro-drones. Modified by master formation casters and etched with all-seeing eyes, systematic scans track their every move. These monsters are fiercely territorial beasts. Normally, they stay put. They rarely wander from their dens. For this massive cleanup operation, every military base has finished all the preparations to keep the students alive, while hunting these mutated freaks, making it easy and totally safe. Of course, student safety is priority. Every recruit gets a gear pack, 3 high-explosive frag grenades, plus 1 heavy-duty hand cannon, loaded with armor-piercing rounds, enough to drop a level 20. My aim is honestly hot garbage, so I just grab the grenades. Besides, who needs guns? My fist packs more punch than some puny armor-piercing round. I turn and head out now. We're rushing toward the mountains. The Belian Range is our goal. I trigger my silver armor disc. Combat gears suit up instantly. Suddenly, my smart band pings me. Master, want the flashlight on my AI? Assistant Chow asks. Yeah, do it, I reply. Boom, blinding white light erupts. It cuts the darkness. For 10 whole meters ahead. Back at HU, faces are pale. The drones spotted something crazy. Our path is totally off course. If they don't turn back, they're entering the high danger zone. Level 30 beasts live there. Why is he still going? Check which mission they accepted, barked a man wearing a general's uniform. This is Shen Shang, a veteran officer. The woman monitoring the screens, Wanyan, gasped in total shock after checking the data. Level 33 Frenzied Wolf, Level 36 Twin Blade Giant Tiger, and a Level 39 Blood Spirit Crocodile. These are all missions that require Rank 3 Hunter skills. The last one is practically Rank 4 difficulty. Have they lost it? Yang Chao rubs the bridge of his nose. So this is Yoonke, Academy's top-tier rookie. For this year, he is only level 16. How does he dare take quests that double his current hunter rank? This is a pure one-way suicide mission. But geniuses like him, facing the threat, who charge into danger without a flinch, are the pillars humanity truly needs. Even if he is a reckless hothead, we can't let him die now. He immediately issued his orders. Get 4 combat helicopters into that mission sector. If things turn deadly, extract them immediately, Yang Chao sighed. Compared to the others, our Endurant base looks like dead weight. Suddenly, his smart brace buzzed. Warning, you are now entering the target's territory, the Berserk Shadow Monkey. At that exact, frantic second, a massive serpent exploded from the forest. Its body was 4 meters wide and stretched for dozens of terrifying meters. Opening its horrific maw wide, it bared fangs and lunged straight at me. That massive mouth was about to devour me whole. I spun around like lightning. I seized those deadly fangs and ripped with all my strength. My strength was insane. Buffed by 13 massive tons, the snake's fangs snapped instantly. Blood sprayed as it recoiled in pain, but I wasn't done yet. The ground exploded under my boots. I blitzed that giant serpent. One punch and its spine fractured into a billion pieces. The snake let out a whimper, literal terror in its cold eyes. It tried to tuck tail, but I caught it. I slowly reeled it back in. The terrified beast thrashed frantically, causing earthquakes, but whatever. Resistance was all totally useless. My fist hammered its head. Snake, guts and blood exploded. Its skull was purely crushed. Grabbing its lower jaw firmly, I ripped it wide open. Pure savage overkill onlookers were literally shaking with fear. Meanwhile, a command. Watching this live-action horror show, deathly silence followed. Everyone was completely speechless. This is insane. He is only level 16, destroying a level 29 python. Is he even human? Yang Xiao bowed his head, reading the file over and over. It clearly says Summoner Class. That is right. Suddenly, a roar shook the monitors. Faces went pale in seconds. A 50-meter muscular giant ape jumped from the mountain peak, woken by the combat noise. It charged them furious. Officer turned ghost white. Oh no, not him, it's the Berserk Black Ape. Level 34 already. Is this beast hacking? Talk about a mutant growth spurt. Every 10 levels is a total evolution. He turned a giant python into sushi. Yang Chao's face says it all were doomed. In the world of puny humans, almost nobody can survive such a massive power cliff. His hand is glued to the radio. One wrong move and he's calling 4 combat choppers for a party. Zero time for looting because a colossal shadow with a face only a mother could love just dropped from the clouds. That black monkey's palms turned into wrecking ball fists aimed straight at my head. Fear, I'm built different. Blade out, let's see what you've got. My steel clanged against its insanely thick tank-like hide. The shockwave nearly leveled the area. Yet here I am, totally scratch-free. My silver disc literally ate the damage. Now the monkey's blushing and growing like he's hitting the gym mid-fight. He's 70 meters tall now, yikes. He tries to swat me like a pesky little housefly. Psych, I'm already hovering over his scalp. Time for a lethal haircut. Point-blank skill, don't fail me now. This move was for running away, but now it's my ultimate gap closer. A neon glow lights up my blade. I slice into his thick skull, but I only manage to scratch him half a meter deep. Angry monkey noises, he's swinging wildly. But I'm dodging like a pro gamer. I zip right back to his face, stabbing the same wound over and over. He goes for the classic rage stomp, and the entire world just quits. Boom, a dust cloud blasts every direction. But I already blinked away. Guess 13 tons and 1 razor-sharp blade won't kill this monster. I'm at my limit. No more holding back. Suddenly, a blade blurring reality itself flickers into existence. Its steel glows with cryptic runes, purely esoteric vibes. Spirit energy, completely empty. Head feels like lead. It's your grand debut. Show your true power. Slowly, I raise hand. The monkey's fur bristles. Primal terror floods him, facing an invisible death. Just a petty trick. The monkey lunges forward. Finishing this right now. Hand drops, soul slash, the blade cleaves him. Without any warning, his massive frame falls. A sharp gust sweeps the dust away. Heart is still beating, but his soul deleted. Blade sheathed. Luckily, that beast's terrifying aura scared the others off. Fight's over in seconds. Far off air support choppers turn and bail. Silence in the room. Everyone's staring, totally stunned, processing the instant kill. Yang Xiao finally understands. A mental attack skill, those are ultra-rare treasures. But what truly shocks him is this kid's terrifying power. Smashing an 18-level gap easily and fighting that berserk ape without taking one single scratch. And the best part, this isn't a temporary buff, it's his normal power level. That's the real scary part. Most monsters who skip ranks to crush their foes usually rely on short power spikes or one-hit ultimate moves. It's never a constant state. While both methods bridge the massive power gap, the difference is night and day. If he stays this cracked and beats enemies 2 ranks higher, he'll be a total nightmare for every enemy race out there. Yang Xiao's heart starts racing fast. Hyped out of his mind, Yang Xiao leaves the post quickly. He enters a room, locks it, and activates multiple hidden barrier seals. Then he grabs a communicator. Zhang. Handy Base found a literal monster. He's way too strong. I'm already pretty beat up. I cannot protect him alone. 30 minutes later, a voice answers, Explain. How strong is he? Yang Xiao thinks for a second. Even if we both teamed up, he'd bury our heads in dirt. There was a heavy silence. Unbelievable. Then all of humanity together can't keep him safe enough. Enemy assassins will come for him. Yang Xiao felt a bit dejected. He can crush me one-handed, but against you, who even knows? Hearing that, the other guy instantly chirped, Deal. I'll go gossip about this with the other kings now. Meanwhile, Liu Yun stared at Hao Shu Han's massive corpse. He shouted, totally hyped. You didn't even need Hao Shu Ming's help to crush that level 34 mutant beast, man. You're seriously way too OP. I just gave a cool smirk, just thinking about it. I summoned 40-meter tall Hemming. I told him to snack on those mutant corpses. My evolution bar jumped up 0.2 points, still ages away from those 1200 points. After a quick big brain moment, I grabbed those life crystals I just looted from those previously deleted mutants and tossed them into the black flames. Each crystal gave me at least 1 point. Eyes lit up, in that case. Found a cheat code to power level my bar. With that, I ventured deeper inside. Plus my 2 companions. 30 minutes later, a massive 30-meter tiger appeared. With sharp fangs, it charged us. But before it could even touch us, Hemming's terrifying aura froze it solid. Suddenly, the ground exploded. Hemming blinked right before the giant tiger and slammed his palm down hard. Under that sheer, terrifying power, the tiger was sent flying high. That impact was so freaking brutal. It smashed right through several giant trees. 4 nasty gashes opened on its face, making it rain buckets of blood. But before it could even recover from that agonizing pain, Hemming was already back in its face. It actually thought about running away, but it was way too slow for Hemming. Hemming's palm glowed with dark light and mercilessly crushed the tiger's head. With a bang, the tiger's head exploded, spraying bone and brain bits everywhere. In barely 10 seconds, that giant tiger was charred to a crisp by black flames. This display of absolute ruthless violence gave the command center staff major chills. Those terrifying vertical slit pupils, even through a digital screen, gave them instant cold sweats. It felt like the Grim Reaper was knocking at any given second. Yang Chao could only smirk bitterly. The new generation was officially taking over. The trio and their beast hiked further up. An hour later, the place was crawling with level 30+ mutant monsters. But thanks to Hemming's killer aura, none of those wannabes dared to approach. That's when a massive 100-meter-long crocodile dripped in blood-red scales, snapped its crimson slit pupils open, and unleashed a wave of primal rage. It was a warning to anyone dumb enough to step into its territory. Hemming immediately bared his fangs. A terrifying aura of destruction exploded out, a power that was far more lethal than that salty swamp lizard's. Next thing you know, he bulked up into a 300-meter-long titan. That giant crocodile, realizing it was totally outclassed, went absolutely berserk with fury. Every step it took rocked the world. Hemming's body began to manifest massive claws made of obsidian fire. They carved through the darkness, while across his skin and fur a golden aura slowly rose, showing off his unwavering boss energy. The crocodile opened its massive trap, showing off those jagged pearly whites. But biting into that golden light was a huge mistake. Hemming stares coldly, then delivers a violent smackdown. Instantly, countless blood-red scales fly everywhere. Flesh is shredded. It's nothing but a gory, indistinct mess. Right then, that massive crocodile turns crimson with pure rage and whips its heavy tail. A bloody light swirls around the strike, unleashing terrifying power as it lashes through the air toward Hemming. It carves 4 deep gashes into the earth. Hemming barely manages to stop his momentum, but the monster isn't done yet. Lunging forward, it clamps its jaws onto Hemming, dragging him into the dark lake. A massive wall of water erupts beneath the surface. These 2 titans clash in a frenzy. The lake turns into a murky, chaotic mess. But the black flames engulfing Hemming don't flicker once, if anything. The water temperature starts skyrocketing. Even with the home court advantage, the giant croc is getting absolutely wrecked. It tries using its raw strength skill, swirling that crimson glow around, but it can't even leave a scratch. Within just a few minutes, half the massive lake has literally evaporated. Suddenly, the surface explodes as a giant wolf bursts from the depths. Standing at a massive 300 meters, his presence is suffocating, paired with an aura so menacing it chokes the air. Just looking at him makes everyone tremble. Even without attacking, the pressure is insane. Hemming and the others can't hide their terror. The same goes for the command center, watching the feed through the screen. As for our scaly friend the croc, he was devoured down to the last scale. That's when the voice of Chow crackles through the bracelet. Mission complete, flawless victory. Head back to the military base to finalize the results. As the trio returns to base, Indurant 1 a.m. already. Time flies. I hit the rally point, spotting an officer to claim rewards. She looks at me stunned. Wait, you actually finished this? I just nod, playing back. Chow's defeat is total proof. A heavy silence fills the air. Finally, she snaps back. 200 contribution points, massive. How's the squad splitting the loot? I transfer the credit over exactly as the officer suggests. I glance at the Huo siblings. Following me is basically useless now. They won't get real training. Guess it is time for finding them a more suitable squad. Right after I leave, boom, a huge message flashes across the entire base's leaderboard. Yankee Academy representing a mere first-year rookie, level 16 summoner. Insane, massive contribution points logged, rank 1,245. It is not just our base. Every academy hub sees the alert. That name flashes everywhere simultaneously. In that exact moment, the entire student crowd stares at the board, completely shook. Who is this guy? A legend. 100 points. One go. He cleared 2 rank 3 missions. Man, I am a freshman too. I cannot even hit double digits. We are all pathetic today. I only dare touch rank 1. Mutant beasts are literal nightmares. Higher level, I still get wrecked. Even the upperclassmen are struggling. Most only have a few dozen. Rookies with 10 points are rare. Copy that instructor Feng, they're a truly rare breed. Everyone's losing it because he's only level 16. Just a total rookie freshman, yet he jumped tiers to slay mutants over level 30. Inside Luoxiang base, Feng Yi planned how to hunt that level 60 beast nearby. Suddenly, a certain name flashed. Onto the rankings. He stood there totally stunned. Wait, is this for real? Hearing Feng Yi's shout, the other instructors looked over. Feng, you know this kid. Wait, 100 points. Day 1 for a freshman. A bit overkill, right? Truly. Feng Yi nodded. That's him, my big regret from recruitment. Jifei really went all out. Otherwise, he'd be our student now. The other instructors understood. Ah, the winter class top student. But someone shook their head. He's being carried by seniors. Because solo, no way he scores that alone. Impressive, but don't encourage this. This cleanup operation isn't just stopping riots, it's about toughening up. Facts. The situation is critical. Powering up is the priority. Chasing rankings for clout is useless. The instructors shook their heads. Feng Yi sighed heavily too. He had high hopes before, but now he felt disappointed. Then he saw the boy in black nearby and smirked. Xiao Yingshu, mission done. Sir Xiao Yingshu stepped forward. Slaughtered 2 level 27 mutant beasts. I would have returned much sooner, but a monster crossed my path. A level 33 heavy armored titan. Putting it down took some real effort. Xiao Yingshu's voice remained chillingly calm, treating the feat like total child's play. Feng Yi's jaw practically hit the floor. The man was genuinely blown away. Unreal, slaying a level 33 beast while only being level 17, your class is overflowing with monsters. A cocky smirk tugged at Xiao Yingshu's lips. He radiated the aura of a protagonist. Don't sweat the small stuff, instructor. It truly is an era of geniuses, but I'm the one who's invincible. I'll crush every rival beneath my feet to claim the throne of humanity. Xiao Yingshu stole a quick, confident glance, only to see instructors face-palming in silence, utterly speechless. Then he spotted the leaderboard's top name. His arrogant expression instantly petrified. His brain completely short-circuited in disbelief. No way, this is impossible. Who could possibly outclass my power? Look at that insane score. Even with my armored lizard kill, I can't even touch that rank. As Xiao Yingshu suffered a mental breakdown, a flustered Feng Yi tried to interject. We were just talking about this. It's likely a high-level carry mission boosted by some veteran upperclassman. Don't let it get to you. Xiao Yingshu exhaled a massive sigh of relief. Yet that smug aura he wore before completing his rank-up trial was shattered, completely evaporated into thin air. He gave a rushed, awkward goodbye, then bolted toward the shadowy horizon of the cursed mountain range. Right at that exact second, I finally made my return, chowing down on BBQ with the roommates. I dumped the Hue twins on them, time to carry their own weight. 9 p.m. sharp, I hit the mission board. Snagged 2 missions on Nightmare mode. Needs rank 4 skills. Entering the mountains, chaos erupted instantly. An officer screamed at Yang Xiao. He took the insane missions for a rank 4 master. Yang Xiao nearly choked on air. 1 rank ahead wasn't enough. This kid skipped 3 levels. Rank 4 means level 40 beasts. A literal death trap. A gunship couldn't even dent them. Not a scratch on their hide. Level 40 monsters. Get the Yank Academy instructors. Someone needs to babysit them. Sheila's life is on the line. He moved instantly. Smart bracelets flashed with the alert. Alerted the elite instructors. Stationed at Nandu, the Yank Academy trio planned immediately. Once they heard, they sent in John Wuji. If Sheila pings her SOS, help will arrive like lightning. Deep in the massive jungle vines, a colossal obsidian wolf tore through the shadows. Within just 1 hour, he found his target. A level 44 three-headed snake. Hissing its final warning, I reached out my hand. A yard-long phantom blade flickered. Manifested. As I raised my hand, terror gripped the mutant snake, sensing death's icy touch. A heartbeat later, the left head shrieked in agony. It slumped down, completely lifeless. The others nudged it, totally frantic. Realizing their sibling was done, they went into full panic mode. Time for Hemming to go wild. On my command, Hemming let out a massive roar. His body suddenly surged. Hitting a whopping 300 meters, jet black flames erupted from his skin. Terrified by that overwhelming power, the three-headed serpent hissed and spat out lethal purple venom. Hemming dove right through it, sinking his teeth into the middle head. He slammed it down and pivoted to crush the others. Seeing its buddy getting wrecked, the last head roared, lunging for a desperate lethal bite. Golden light pierced Hemming's hide, and in an instant, toxins flooded through his entire system. But with his stats and nature buff, Hemming tanked that corrosive poison like a total boss. Dark energy swirled around him, and with one swipe, he swatted that annoying head away. Showtime, I unsheathed the celestial sword. I vanished in a flash, reappearing right before the snake's face. My blade plunged deep into its eye. The beast shrieked in absolute agony. Simultaneously, a massive claw dripping with cursed black flames came crashing down, pinning the snake to the dirt. But that massive tail, 30 meters of muscle whipped up. It tore through the air at me. I raised my sword to block. Next thing I know, I'm a human missile. Witnessing that total carnage, Hemming went absolutely ballistic. His claws, pulsing with ominous dark energy, shredded the air while lunging at the serpent. Those impenetrable scales, now as flimsy as paper, ripped wide open by. Massive gashes deep enough to swallow a car. Hemming pulled a pro gamer move and sank his fangs into the other head's neck. He yanked like he was trying to rip it off. Two absolute units, hundreds of meters long, were wrestling. The ground shattered and trees collapsed like toothpicks. I emerged from the dust, completely unscathed. Hundi's legendary defense is still the absolute GOAT. Watching these two giant kaijus go at it with insane savagery, I just grabbed a front row seat on a rock, just waiting for Hemming to finish the job, nice and slow. Suddenly, right out of the shadows, a mysterious lady in sleek white armor approached without making a sound. I didn't hesitate, blade out. A flash of silver light sliced the air, but then I did a total double take. Zhan Yu just nodded, looking surprisingly shook. The sheer weight of that strike was so heavy that even he, a level 59 powerhouse, had to actually try to block it. "Master, what are you doing in this neighborhood?" asked that point blank. Zhan Yu played it cool. While hiding his slightly trembling hand, he just hit me with a poker face. I heard a bit of a commotion, so I figured I'd investigate. That's when it happened. A massive 30-meter tongue slammed down from above. Boom. The earth quaked and dust exploded as a terrifyingly fierce roar echoed for miles. Hemming stood victorious on the dead three-headed snake. Black flames feasted greedily on it, turning it into raw evolution points. Towering over 300 meters high, he looked like a god of destruction. Zhan Yu watched, totally jaw-dropped. Even from afar, that aura, that vibe of pure, absolute violence wanting to swallow the whole world, gave him the ultimate creeps. Meanwhile, the command post was losing its mind. He jumped 3 tiers and 28 levels. He actually did it. Absolute legend. How can his combat power be this ridiculously overpowered? He makes the S-rank prodigy look like a total amateur. Even Yang Chao was fanboying hard. Countless serpents of black fire swirled through the air before sinking into Hemming's massive body. He shrank back down instantly, then flopped beside me for a nap. Jean checked on me, then finally headed out. After double-checking the map, I hopped on Hemming and we rolled. Eating that 3-headed snake in crystal gave Hemming a 1-meter growth spurt plus 10 juicy points of evolution. At this rate, in 5 days, Hemming will be ready to evolve. And with that, his essence hits superior summon level and extreme rank status. His combat power will become even more terrifying. Suddenly, a massive roar echoed out as a wild buffalo charged in. It had thick, hard ochre scales and 30-meter horns. The ground literally shattered under it. Target 2, the level 45 deer horn buffalo. I didn't hesitate for a second. He instantly triggered a massive power buff. Hemming's size exploded right before their eyes. Pitch black flames erupted everywhere, while a divine golden light radiated out. In a flash, he unleashed his full power. At that exact moment, those twin horns of the staghorn buffalo slammed into Emin. a direct hit with brutal force. He raised his front paws to parry. Under that terrifying impact of the strike, Emin was sent flying back at high speed, carving a massive trench into the ground. In a heartbeat, those two behemoths had already cleared several kilometers. Even the aerial drones struggled to keep up. Right at that very moment, over at HQ, Commander Yang Chao barked out an emergency command. Tell every cadet in the area to clear the path immediately. Chen Lin's summon doesn't play nice at all. It won't care who gets crushed. Hearing that, the officer scrambled to work. Emin finally unsheathed his lethal claws. They glowed with a sinister, dark aura. With one massive surge of strength, he flipped that buffalo right over. Its titan body slammed down in dust. While that chaos was unfolding, a squad of 2 men and 3 women was running for their lives. After a few hundred meters of sprinting, they turned back to see the show. Their jaws hit the floor in shock, so that's why HQ told us to scram. Yeah, we almost became total pancakes. Wait, one of them is level 45, but how is the other only level 16? No way, that monster is level 16. The 5 trainees couldn't believe their eyes. A nearby instructor noticed all the commotion. She immediately moved in to stop it. But Zhan Yu blocked her path silently. Don't you dare get involved now. That's just my freshman student's little pet. The instructor's jaw hit the floor. Pure disbelief was written on her face. A freshman? You're kidding, right? Zhan Yu flashed a smug little smirk. He coolly replied, no. The kid's a total system glitch? The instructor looked completely shell-shocked. Excellence. That's the understatement of the century. He's a monster. A true prodigy. Quarter awakened in his first year. Unheard of. This level is insane. So, this is the Federation's elite. She was absolutely dripping with envy. Is he actually your student? Zhan Yu stiffened and fake coughed. Basically, he's Ji-Fei's childhood bestie. His student is mine. It's logic. The instructor's eyes burned with jealousy. Hemming finally finished her massive steak. Hemming scanned the area for trouble. No director, time to head back. Soon she found me fleeing. From a 50-meter giant toad, she instantly went full beast mode. She charged like a lethal blur. Her paw strike shook the world. Hemming scanned the area like prey. No director, she turned back immediately. She found me a moment later, running for my absolute life.
From a 50-meter monster toad, she immediately snapped into a murderous rage. Her shadow
blitzed forward with a deadly strike. One-shotting that level 36 beast, I finally breathed a massive sigh. After some healing and a tiny 30-minute rest to recover, we headed right back out, the beast and me together, hunting for some real prey, like level 40 mutants or higher. 2 missions done, way too easy. I wasn't ready to go home, just looting quest items. Retracing steps takes too long. Forget those measly contribution points. Top priority, Hemming must evolve right now. Then reach level 20 for the reincarnation dungeon entrance. Since realizing that humans are basically sitting ducks, I've got major anxiety issues. At midnight, horrific roars shook the mountainside. Hemming was glowing with terror. 2 level 42 mutants dead. Dark flames consumed their corpses, constantly shifting to merge into Hemming's body. I was barely breathing. My mana bar was empty. Forget healing, I'm totally spent. My brain felt like mush. 0 stamina left in reserve. Every muscle was screaming loudly. Earlier today, I played Meat Shield for Hemming. We almost saw the light, but man, that grind paid off. We slaughtered monsters from level 15 to over 40. Hemming hit 58 meters tall. Every stat jumped 58 points. All stats over 300. That antlered bull boss. If we fought it now, 10 minutes. Easy claps. These level 42 losers here, absolute total stomp. Evolution value also jumped by 195. 1,020 more needed. Back at the Anjuan base, everyone breathed a huge sigh. One officer gaped at us in shock. Simply terrifying. Just one single day, 15 level 40+ mutants slaughtered. In terms of contribution points, that's over 2,000, right? Hearing this, everyone's jaws hit the floor. Currently, at Enduring Base, the student holding the highest contribution record sits at 700,000. Surprise, he's another Yuki Academy monster. That's King Kong, the 4th-year legend. He debuted during that winter incident. What about other bases? Yang Xiao asked. The officer's fingers danced across the screen. She finally spoke up. Over at Luoyang, home to Belin Academy, the highest-ranked cadet currently holds 1,000 contribution points. Next comes the Southern Ancient Academy with 890, then Kintian West at 850. For this massive mutant extermination quest, over 100 academies are clashing, spread across 10 military bases. We hit the biggest mountain range first, the motherlode of all mutant beasts. After that, we sweep the outskirts. This operation could last months or more until every last mutant beast is no longer a threat to the city. How did the gap get this huge? It's not just the top scorers. Luoyang base is absolutely dominating in the overall clearing progress. Yang Xiao's brow furrowed deep. The officer kept dropping truth bombs. Belin Academy is always at the top, year after year. It's a natural magnet, so every genius wants in this year. With so many prodigies and warriors appearing, you can only imagine how cutthroat their competition is. Everyone's going all out, no one wants to be the loser. But hey, that's a good thing. Clearing areas faster brings earlier freedom to rescue failing bases. Besides our 5 elite academy zones, everything is crashing down. Level 20 mutants are still swarming everywhere. We must rush and provide urgent backup. Hit the rally point at 2:30 sharp. Bright lights everywhere. Cadets were roasting mutant beasts from their armored trucks for a midnight BBQ. Mission confirmed, and my rank totally exploded from 1245 to 10th. No biggie. Heading back to bed, door swings open and Feng Yu lunges forward, staring like I'm inhuman. Spill the truth, Chen Lin, you some monster undercover. This sudden power jump is totally broken. Man, I just smirked back and sat down. Currently, the forums are exploding. Feng Yu rants beside, and they are fuming. Is boosting you secretly. Look at this hypocrite judging his own past actions. That rank 3 mission for 100 points already looked pretty shady. Now, they're calling hacks. Even Elder King Kong is the prime suspect. Everyone's pointing fingers. Why? I asked, genuinely curious. Suddenly, a notification pinged. A new friend request. My smart bracelet suddenly buzzed with a new notification. It was none other than King Kong, that veteran accused of inflating my battle scores. I didn't hesitate and hit accept immediately. The very second the connection went through, King Kong dropped a single chilling line. Level 52 Yangtze Giant Dragon tomorrow. You interested, or is it too much? Seeing his challenge, I shot back a reply. I only need the life crystal and giant rock. The dragon's corpse and all the contribution points are all yours to keep. After settling on a time and meeting place, I showed up the very next morning, right in front of the base's main gate. King Kong spotted me and waved instantly. Standing beside him was a girl, a graceful beauty whose eyes sparkled with curiosity. She didn't waste any time and spoke up. Hey there, the name's Yi Kexi. That's Wang Yao. I just gave a nod and the 4 of us boarded the armored rig, heading straight into the heart of the mountains. King Kong started the tactical briefing mid-ride. Julian 11 possesses a trace of the Wangji bloodline. Since his skills are a total mystery, we need to be incredibly cautious today. Wang Yao and I will lead the charge. Yi Kexi, you're on long-range buffs and healing duty. Chen Lin, how much power does your summon have? I gave a cool and collected response. Taking down Julian 11 won't be a problem. Their eyes widened with absolute shock. They were clearly glad they recruited me. Honestly, if my combat power had barely reached level 40 mutant beast status, I'd be nothing more than a dragon snack. But my sheer confidence finally put them at ease. 200 kilometers later, we finally arrived and everyone hopped out of the vehicle. King Kong stopped in his tracks, whispering, "This is where Julian 11 is hiding. I'll lure it out, everyone get ready." I simply sighed and said, "Don't bother." With just a single flick of my mind, a massive 58-meter shadow wolf materialized. A tyrannical aura exploded instantly. Its savage roar echoed for miles, sending terrified mutant beasts scurrying away. My 3 companions were absolutely floored. Echoing that roar deep inside a cave, 2 yellow eyes like glowing lanterns snapped wide open. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure erupted amidst a heaven-piercing dominant roar. An 11-threaded Jiaolong made its entrance. Each heavy step made the ground quake, without mercy. Beholding its massive titanic frame stretching over 500 meters covered in rock-hard obsidian scales, and that soul-crushing aura, their hearts skipped a beat. King Kong and the others looked grim. They realized they'd massively underestimated this guy. But me, I was totally stone-faced. I sent a mental command to Hemming. He bulked up instantly, transforming into a 500-meter titan. Black flames and golden lightning erupted, cranking his aura to 11. My team was having a total meltdown. The Jiaolong looked at us with pure, unadulterated contempt. It sensed Hemming's rank was lower, nothing compared to its own. Only those black flames felt even remotely threatening. Then Hemming shot him a smug smirk. The Jiaolong went into a total frenzy. He slammed his front paws down, ripping through the earth to summon dozens of stone pillars, sharp as spears, and aimed at Hemming. My boy didn't flinch, standing his ground. He tanked the hit with his iron body. Then with one swipe of dark-infused claws, he shattered those pillars like glass. The dragon charged, swinging a 100-meter paw with bone-crushing force. Hemming pulled a slick dodge. Then he threw a quick counter-swipe but barely scratched those thick monster scales. Julian Lon spun and slapped him back. This time he used innate power. Yellow light exploded like a flashbang. His paw weight became absolutely insane, crashing down like a whole mountain. The impact literally made air explode. Hemming's golden protection. shattered instantly, sending him flying back. He tumbled back dozens of meters, before finally stopping himself. Seeing the fight erupt King Kong, he screamed, "What's the plan? Activate the party buffs now, focus every single bonus." Onto Chen Lin's legendary summon, he was dead serious. Julian Lons was a beast. Way stronger than he first thought, a level 50 mutant beast. From that crazy Wangji bloodline too, is definitely no joke. You can't win while underleveled. Even at the same level, victory would be impossible. Still, he was shocked. Totally mind blown. A level 16 summon. Tanking a level 52 beast. That's a 36 level gap. This power is totally broken. King Kong nodded instantly. Gold light burst from his body. 4 martial light seals appeared right under their feet, pouring endless power into them. Massive auras then wrapped, hemming, and his 4 core stats skyrocketed in a heartbeat. Yi Kexi stood there speechless. Wait, those insane buffs. If they actually land, King Kong's power would have doubled, but on this summon, the buffs barely tickled. What insane, terrifying power! Yu Kexi wasn't done yet. She triggered her innate skill, Celestial Law Goddess Protection. One short incantation later, a massive claymore materialized. A goddess with icy eyes descended over the Shadow Wolf. When her eyes snapped open, soul-crushing pressure filled everything, ready to annihilate existence. So I played support, slipped him his secret buff, stacking those juicy bonuses. Hemming's combat stats rocketed past 2,000, that massive mana surge made his flames go supernova. From 100 meters away, they were all getting toasted. His mana levels just broke the scale. Those pitch-black flames are straight-up hellfire now. Even standing 100 yards away, King Kong's squad felt they were getting roasted. Huge vibe check, everyone's faces went pale. Suddenly, the beast locked eyes with our trio. Shomo basically went full-blown berserker mode instantly. King Kong's face twisted into an "oh crap" expression. He whipped out his massive battleship tier weapon. He immediately triggered his skill, Final Transcendence. The ground beneath him just absolutely disintegrated, moving like a literal bolt of lightning. He materialized right above Julian's head. Within a heartbeat, he unleashed 10 strikes. Behold the power of the Blood Soul. But it was like hitting solid rock. He didn't even leave a single scratch. For Julian Lons, that wasn't even a tickle. King Kong realized he messed up and dipped. But as he tried to back away, Julian Lons let out a sky-shattering roar. A massive golden aura suddenly detonated everywhere. A 100-meter gravity field locked them down. Massive pressure slammed King Kong into the dirt. He hit the pavement hard. He was struggling just to twitch. King Kong looked up in terror. A colossal claw cast a shadow of doom, and it was coming down fast. Yakexi's expression completely shattered. He looked utterly doomed. He spammed every defensive skill he had. But that ultimate shield of his, it was basically made of wet tissue. It exploded before the beast even touched it. King Kong was officially smelling his end. Ignoring his muscles literally tearing apart, he tried to make a break. Just as he was about to become a pancake, a dark blur intercepted the blow. The collision actually knocked Julian Lons back. The shockwave felt like a Category 5 hurricane. Seeing that massive black wolf standing tall, King Kong gave him the "thanks bro" look. He quickly retreated. He leaped from the crater, resetting his stance. King Kong flashed a salty, bitter grin. Who knew Julian had this hidden talent? His raw combat power might actually be stronger than a level 55 boss. We're officially background characters now, folks. And you guys doubted his reliability. Talk about a total Uno reverse. If not for Hemming, I'd be a literal ghost now. Then that yellow shield flared up again. Under that crushing, terrifying gravity, Hemming got pinned hard. King Kong panicked. Can he actually win? Yikexi clenched his teeth, sweating literal buckets. He poured every ounce of mana into healing and buffing our hero. If this fails, let's just bail. Mission failed. He stayed stone-faced. Everyone retreat 1 kilometer back. Hemming is going full god mode. The trio stood there absolutely shook. That wasn't even his final form. They froze, but only for a second, before turning tail and hauling it out without looking back. 30 seconds later, at a distance, all 3 turned, hearts pounding fast. A savage, bone-chilling primal roar shook the heavens and the earth. Twin black flames erupted in pure fury. For 3 kilometers, it was chaos. His power level was totally breaking.
For miles and miles, an apocalyptic mist swallowed the world. A massive spectral silhouette, 1,700 meters tall,
slowly flickered into existence. It oozed a terrifying aura, hungry to devour the whole world. Their faces went pale as ghosts. Pure terror chilled their very souls. Yakexi's legs turned into straight jelly. They couldn't even stand. He could feel it. The heavenly goddess shielding Hemming was being shredded like paper. To him, this shock was like seeing his god. Pimp slapped into the dirt. In that exact moment, Julian's eyes were pure horror, trapped in those black flames. His scales melted like wax. His golden storm was instantly eaten. Even his gravity was completely turned off. Hemming just looked totally bored. Raging, he roared and charged. That massive claw tore out, mixing black fire and light. Hemming didn't even flinch. That dark shadow raised an elbow. With terrifying heat, he struck like lightning. The crash sent shockwaves everywhere. A massive explosion rocked out. Julian's palm felt pure agony. That legendary pangolin defense, pierced by a flaming palm, heat was literally eating him. He finally hit panic mode. Going all out now. He spun around desperately. His giant tail whipped the air. Hemming hopped over it like a total pro, landing right in front of Julian. Then, game over, Julian screamed in absolute despair. He always hid behind armor, to act like a boss, never taking a scratch. But now he's dead meat. He's strong and tanky, sure, but he's slow and clumsy. The total opposite of Hemming, rest in peace, big guy, with the Doom Shadow's buffed attack range. He kept kiting the beast like a pro, leaving it stomping around in circles, salty, enraged, and totally helpless. After 30 minutes of pure bullying, the Onyx Giant was barely holding on. His life bar was basically in the red. Those monster eyes were shaking with fear, but Hemming stone cold. You could see the loot greed in his eyes. Those dark flames started bubbling up. Then he lunged with a claw for the ultimate finisher. The Onyx Giant tried to refuse the game over, but his massive body just face-planted hard, getting toasted instantly by void fire. Right then, a drone zooms over the scene. Back at Command HQ, they all saw the absolute carnage below. Every single jaw hit the floor. Yang Chao's eyes were glued to that massive shadow wolf, standing tall with zero signs of the Onyx Giant left. He knew exactly who the winner was. He took one hell of a deep breath, simply magnificent. How many more cheats is this kid hiding first time around? He broke human limits by 2 whole tiers. Then he outclassed a 3-headed boss by 3, and now he just soloed a royal blood mutant at level 52 while he's only level 16. That's a 4-tier gap. Unbelievable. Yang Chao was 100% sure Chen Lin was the target. He just gave a dark little chuckle. Good. Very good. If we're catching a whale this big, we need a much stronger net. Tomorrow, grab that footage of the moment Chen Lin wrecked that 3-headed beast and drop it on the Academy forums. Let everyone see the monster Daxia just birthed. Everyone in the room was straight up hyped. King Kong and the crew finally made it back to base. Yahello looked on with pure awe and gushed, Junior Chen Lin, your summon is absolutely terrifying. Wang Yao and King Kong could only nod in total agreement. King Kong sighed. Back at the other academies, everyone thinks I'm the one carrying you. But the hilarious truth is, you're the one carrying me. Yeah, Wang Yao and I were basically just cheerleaders today. Just split the loot points between you and Yahello. I simply gave my head a firm shake. No way. We're sticking to the original deal. I want to keep hunting level 50 mutant freaks. Are you guys down to keep helping me after devouring that massive Onyx Giant and swallowing its life essence whole? Hemming's evolution experience bar had skyrocketed by 150 points. That was 10 times more than those level 40 scrubs. If we could just bag a few more, he might actually trigger another evolution. King Kong's eyes sparkled as he eagerly agreed. Besides, Yahello's support buffs were a total game changer. The trio then began a relentless sweep of the area, crushing mutants from level 50 to 54. Late into the night, I saw that Hemming's evolution bar was finally maxed. I called the crew together and prepped for the return. Back at the command center, the entire staff was staring in pure disbelief. In just one single day, they had wiped out 11 level 50-plus mutants. They're clearing targets faster than the actual instructors, muttered a stunned officer nearby. Across the entire Belian Mountain range, there are barely over 1,000 beasts, at level 50 or higher in existence. At this insane pace, they'll clear the whole zone in just 1 month. Yang Chao nodded, looking incredibly pleased. Those level 50 mutant monsters are the biggest threats during a beast tide. Once they're eliminated, the higher-tier Spirit Kings won't dare to launch a reckless assault. Finally, back to the dorms. I pull out my special terminal, and I'm cashing in those hard-earned contribution points. I'm requesting 1 level 2 Stone Life Crystal. These contribution points are way more flex than school credits. It's the ultimate currency for the absolute legends on the front. You only get these by carrying the entire human race. Talk about a perfect way to keep hunters hungry. That life crystal delivery arrives faster than premium shipping. I crack open the safe. I grab a handful of these thumb-sized power-ups. Boom, the crystals explode into pure essence instantly. A storm of energy shards fuses directly into my soul. My stats are skyrocketing all the way to level 20. There it is, the second awakening prompt on my personal HUD. I hit confirm faster than a gacha addict. A flash of white light completely blinds me for a second. When the spot's clear, I'm standing in a massive field. A system window pops up right in my face. Coordinates 00996. This world has been totally overrun by the Edis race. Their goal, enslave everything to expand their ugly family tree. Mission objective: exterminate every last Edis in sight. Number of players: just me, myself, and I. Time limit: 24 hours on the clock. There is zero chance of going home until it's done. I give the system a little bit of side-eye. These Edis are the same xenotrash harassing our world, and they still have the nerve to invade other dimensions. Time to get serious. The fun and games are over. Much later, I finally reach the edge of a cliff. Down below, right next to a massive farm, are these 7-foot-tall gray-skinned monstrosities. Meet the bipedal Edios. They literally have feet growing out of their heads. Weird flex. Their eyes are filled with pure, arrogant contempt. They're bullying humans who look completely dead inside, forcing them to bleed out just to water some creepy trees. I've seen this horror show in my past life before. Humans being treated like nothing more than livestock. This time, I'm definitely not just a spectator. I scout the area and count the trash. There are about 30 of these foot-headed freaks. Their power levels are hovering around level 30. Easy work. I can handle this mob solo. Time to give my new skills a little test drive. Pitch black, bearing fruit with flesh like dripping blood. Rage ignites within me as a neon light bursts forth. My battle armor wraps around my entire body. The ground literally explodes beneath my feet. I dive off the cliff, a casual 100-meter drop. While two Eduos were chatting, a massive blast rings out. They spin around looking completely lost. In the middle of a swirling dust cloud, a silver silhouette comes charging at them. In a literal heartbeat, I'm right in their faces. My armored fist greets one of them directly. Unleashing a massive white shockwave, I punch him straight in the mug. His nose shatters, sending cracks all over his face. He's launched away like a literal cannonball, flying dozens of meters before eating the dirt. That's one hell of a concussion right there. Without his monster genes, his head would have popped. The other Eduo's face just completely falls apart. He summons a dark energy spear and charges. I do not move an inch. I grab his spear tip and turn it into dust. Terrified, he turns to call for backup, but I am way faster. I unsheath my saber and end it in one swing. I slice him right down the middle. Gray blood splatters all over my armor. Finally, the whole Eduo squad starts to react. Their creepy eyes lock onto me, burning with rage. Do I look like I am scared? My saber begins its dramatic transformation into a massive halberd over 3 meters long. The sheer weight of it makes the air scream. I turn into a flickering shadow, reappearing instantly right in front of the next guy. He raises his shield to block. Points for effort, but he gets blasted away in a second, slamming into the cliff wall like a human nail. He crawls out of the rock looking all serious. Sorry, pal, your stats are not even close to mine. And he is supposed to be a third circle elite. He says there are 80 more of them in the plantation. The Eduo flashes a wicked grin. Jinty just smirks like a total boss. All together now. Rip him apart. Feed the blood trees his remains. The Edui roared, unleashing their cursed dark mana. The air reeks of their disgusting aura. But me, I'm not even flinching. My power just hit critical mass. The Zang sliced through, erasing everything in its path. The closest two Edui, their heads just went boom, skewered by razor-sharp spirit threads. Their armor, not a single scratch on me. While they froze in terror, the Zang swung again, wiping out an entire wave instantly. Total beast mode engaged. With 220 strength points backing me, I swung Treston Zang and carved a path. One by one, the Edui fell apart. Jean Tio started losing his mind. He tapped into his dark energy to chain me down. Hurry. Everyone pin him down now, but before he could finish, Jin Tae felt a massive jerk on those chains. He went flying forward like a ragdoll. Then the terrifying Zang came down. Panicking, he desperately triggered his survival skill. His skin ripped open, revealing a thick, ugly layer of hardened black keratin. Too bad, the Zang still split him. Watching his brother get absolutely wrecked, Jingta turned tail toward the royal city. I instantly morphed the Zang into a war spear, locked onto Jingta's cowardly back. I flexed every single muscle and chucked it with maximum power. Bullseye. It went right through his head. The survivors screamed, "He's out of weapons, get him." Before they even finished shouting, I crushed the first guy's skull with one single punch. Time for some close quarters carnage. Every hit sent out massive shockwaves. Soon 80 Edui were just dust. Just as I reached for my spear, a massive anomaly ripped through the sky. A colossal eye swirling with gray patterns. I stared up at that giant eerie gaze. Looks like I've finally been spotted. I took one deep, steadying breath. With a thought, I summoned Hemming. Today he towered over 100 meters. A terrifying savage aura radiated from him. Meanwhile, a massive Ezra's horde was closing in. Safety first. I instantly tapped to confirm his evolution. With one single click, the primal power matrix deep within Hemming's massive body unleashed a terrifying wave of purifying energy through his core before erupting into a black pillar piercing the clouds. That creepy gray eye, absolutely obliterated. Heaven and earth shook from the impact. Hemming threw his head back and roared. A tyrannical, frightening pressure flooded the area. His cry echoed for miles and miles. Congratulations, your summon Hemming has learned the skill Absolute Courage. Congratulations. Your summon Hemming has gained the talent Imminent Death. All stats increased by 90 points. I finally let out a relieved sigh. Another massive total power-up achieved. But his Flame Mastery was the real winner. It evolved into the Celestial Flame. By fusing 3 different power types, he can now manifest a domain. As for Imminent Death, no idea yet, but a talent like that can't be weak. Right at that moment, those strange patterns flickered in the sky and that giant gray eye reappeared. Immediately after an Ezra's horde charged from the horizon.
Frontline level 55. This is getting spicy. This insane difficulty spike. For a level 20 promotion quest, human history has never seen such overkill.
A single thought sparked. My war spear instantly shifted into battle armor as I spoke coldly. Hemming leave absolutely 0 survivors. Words barely spoken, Hemming's massive frame began expanding at godlike speeds. He instantly morphed into a terrifying shadow beast standing 550 meters tall and stretching over 1,000 meters long. Pitch-black hellfire erupted from his entire form. Those sharp deep blue slits faded into ghostly gray. A lethal death aura chilling enough to freeze blood. Of every living soul nearby radiated from him. His savage roar shook the earth for miles. Under this crushing pressure, every demon froze stiff. To their very core, they were paralyzed by those nightmare flames licking across his colossal body. Primal danger screamed through their instincts even from several kilometers away. Distance didn't stop that blistering heat. With a body spanning thousands of meters, one stride easily cleared entire landscapes. That single step sent 5 ring demons into a total panic. Then suddenly, Hemming exploded with power. The ground shattered for hundreds of meters wide as his velocity and strength peaked. Channeled world energy propelled him as he blinked right into the demon horde's heart. Gray eyes stared them down ruthlessly. Hemming swung a massive claw downward. A giant shadow fell, and under that force, demons became mere red paste. Before being instantly deleted by black hellfire. Seeing his boys get toasted, the boss, Layat screamed, "Ignore the monster, priorities people. Go kill that human right now." As the demons tried to sidestep him, Hemming's gaze turned absolutely sub-zero. He slammed his massive front paw down. With a roar, his pitch-black body ignited a massive explosion of dark flames. It stretched for thousands of meters, swallowing everything in its path. The demon army officially lost their minds. It wasn't just the spicy burning pain, they felt their life force being erased. In the blink of an eye, the low-level mobs were turned to ash. A shocked Layat cursed. "Aw, crap, what kind of cheat power is this? It's burning my life essence directly." Life essence is basically your remaining lifespan. Lose it, and there are no refunds, unless you find some legendary loot. He barked attack, "Hurry up and kill him. If this keeps going on, even if we somehow win, we'll all die of old age tomorrow." A 5-ring demon nodded and grabbed every weapon he could get his hands on. Everyone unleashed their ultimate skills, but Hemming just glowed with golden light. Talk about an invincible aura, every single attack just bounced off. Layat was absolutely gnashing his teeth. How was his defense so broken? Right then, the giant claw fell again. It was like a whole mountain range was crashing down on their heads with an ear-splitting boom. Black wings burst from Layat's back. He zoomed away like a sharp blade, but suddenly, pure dread washed over him. A cold, murderous pair of eyes peered in the darkness watching him. Layat completely froze in his tracks under the weight of that death stare. Total Terror just got a massive upgrade. That giant claw came crashing down hard. The Layat were stuck like glue. The earth split open instantly like a disaster movie on steroids. Facing that overgrown black wolf, a walking apocalypse, those 9 demons could see the oops in their eyes. This beast is a total freak show. Time to bolt. The others agreed and popped their bony wings out, flying toward Wang Cheng in total panic. Hemming munched, the yali under his toe like snacks. He then looked up with icy eyes at the next victim, blinking right behind the poor guy. His shadow claw turned him into confetti. Seeing that brutal one-shot, the remaining 8 5-ring demons panicked, wishing for a turbo boost right now. Suddenly, Hemming's eyes leaked a vibe that gave them major chills. A blood-curdling aura of pure doom wrapped around one unlucky demon, turning the whole block into gray dust, deleting his health bar instantly. Meanwhile, I'm just standing here watching these corrupted clowns charge at me with zero fear. I moved like a total blur, shredding everything in my path. With the broken power of my spine spikes, the corrupted guys turned into meat spray. They officially stopped breathing. Soon, the whole 100-meter zone was juice and spare parts. After finding Hemming finishing up, I speed toward the main fight at full speed, ready to delete them all. This time, I ate thousands of these trash mobs. I grew 5 meters and feel great. My growth requirements just skyrocketed. Evolution points, only up 100, 10 times harder. The grind is real. Just then, A massive structure, hundreds of meters tall, appears in my view, a majestic coliseum. The corrupted mobs already bailed. Only one level, 59, remains waiting all alone. Leviath's gaze is stone cold, standing 6 meters tall. Terrifying black wings unfurl. He's oozing an oppressive aura as the power of corruption turns into dark energy flows, dimming the lights everywhere. Looking at this edgelord, I say with an icy tone, stinky aura. Hemming, trash this guy. I'll go farm the others. Hemming hits 1,000 meters. Jet black flames explode like a cataclysmic beast. Pure power, the planes crack for a kilometer. Hemming lunges in a flash. He's right in Leviath's face. Facing a wolf way bigger, Leviath doesn't even flinch. Dark light claws come crashing down. The air shatters like lightning. On impact, the outer wall, tough as steel, just explodes, fragile as paper. But wait as the strike hits Leviath. A dark barrier shuts it down. Pure energy flows, blocking everything. Unbreakable. A mere beast, not even at king rank. Did you really think you'd overturn heaven and earth just by squashing some ants? Leviath says with zero emotion, with a simple little flick. That dark barrier swells, then goes boom, yeeting, hemming hundreds of meters back. Instantly, his edgy dark power surges. It morphs into a massive 100-meter blade. It radiates a truly terrifying aura of corruption, draining the very life from every blade of grass around. Layat's aura is toxic. Shadowy flow circles rise without end. His power level is peaking. Sup, I'm Yozen, Yak Clan's prince. Unlike those other total loser royals, Layat violently swings his blade. That 100-meter shadow of death slams right onto Hemming's body. A golden light flickers on his skin, but honestly, it cracks in just a few seconds. Hemming, roaring like crazy, catches the blade bare-handed. He's actually brute forcing it thanks to his tanky body. And 2,500 constitution stat points. The ground literally gives up and collapses. Right in front, the blade carves a bottomless canyon of doom. In one hit, Hemming takes some seriously massive damage. Layat looks totally bored though. Not bad. You survived one tap. I'll let you be my horse. Just don't stop me from killing him. Hearing that Hemming is triggered, pure rage ignites in his eyes. He glares with absolute hate. His roar shakes the entire world. His jet black body suddenly erupts into massive hellish flames, spreading across thousands of meters in a flash. It's an aura of total terror, torching everything in its way. A massive 2,000-meter demonic figure appears slowly. The illusion had finally become a tangible reality. His aura spread out, dominating everything with its absolute soul-devouring power. Layat's gaze darkened in terror. His very life essence was being ripped right out of him. Hemming just watched him coldly, not even needing to move a muscle. He raised one sharp claw and struck in a flash. The dark shadow mirrored his every move perfectly. Layat's face twisted as he gathered up all of his fallen power to reinforce his barrier. But that wasn't enough to stop the terrifying demonic shadow silhouette. He was slammed violently into the dirt, like a flickering, dying dark flame. Layat looked pale and completely shaken, feeling his life force being drained away constantly. He flew into a total desperate rage. Terrifying power exploded out of his body, but it couldn't even reach 10 meters before being completely shut down, stopping dead in tracks. He was totally dumbstruck. Before he could even think to react, the shadow's massive claw came crashing down once again, seeing Layat go flying against the thick and solid wall. He was sent skidding back hundreds of meters. That's when Layat's body began to swell up, suddenly growing dozens of meters tall right then, while dark marks crawled all over his skin. Ancient black wings unfurled from his back, now reaching a massive 100-meter wingspan. A long black spear finally materialized slowly in his hand, leaking floods of dark energy. Demon Form 3, go to hell, Layat roared loudly. He vanished in the blink of an eye, smashing through obstacles with a deafening crash. That dark spear, ablaze with shadowy flames, charged straight for the target. But Hemming's speed and reflexes were on another level. Using the massive attack range provided by his evil shadow, he swatted him down like a pesky fly. Layat hit the ground hard, carving out a crater. Struggling up, he spat in pure rage. Born as a high noble, this humiliation was just too much. Well, what are you waiting for? Activate the fallen heaven seal, he screamed. A dark dome erupted in inverted sky, entombing the entire zone, swallowing the whole horizon. Massive chains, dozens of meters wide, pulsing with pure fallen energy, tore from the void to bind Hemming. Layer by layer, endless waves of dark mana surged through those links, invading his body to consume him. Seeing him finally caught, Layat let out a psycho laugh. With 10,000 fallen souls powering this, not even a 6th circle mage survives. I'll have fun torturing you later. That's when Hemming finally roared, fusing the holy embers, greed, and gluttony into one lethal power. Dark flames exploded outward, incinerating everything for 1,000 meters. A terrifying death aura choked the air. Right then, anyone inside that black sea of fire was finished. Even immortal gods couldn't escape this. Suddenly, Emming's true demonic form fully appeared. A giant eye opened on his finger, glowing with dual gray pupils, radiating a massive will to kill. Just one blink and I can delete any target in my domain. I'm the god of this world. Celestial Death Purgatory open up. This domain's absolute might born from 3 talents was unmatched. Layat's smug smirk instantly froze. Her expression shifted to pure terror. Trapped in his purgatory, she was totally doomed. Black flames were devouring everything, but Death's chill was creeping in too. Curse you, let's see who drops dead first. Or if I swallow you first. Layat's face twisted with pure insanity, shoving dark power into those chains to boost their nasty corruption.
Their power hit level 10, endless waves of rot, slammed right into poor Hemming, trying to melt his very soul.
Hemming let out a sky-splitting roar, pushing back against that trashy energy. Since his birth, he was the weakling of the bunch, abandoned by his own pack in the murder forest. Starving and freezing cold, he was nearly finished, but his master's call saved him. From that moment on, Hemming swore to follow him forever. It wasn't about some contract or a boring spiritual link. He lives only to be a shield. Right at that moment, the evil ghost turned blood red. Without an order, his aura exploded, shattering those chains instantly, ripping his bindings into tiny pieces. The beastly ghost turned, slowly toward terrified Layat. Its eyes were cold as ice. A terrifying death aura burst out. Layat sensed a massive red flag. His skin turned deathly gray, life draining away in seconds. Just as he was meeting death, royal energy surged to save him. Layat looked like he'd seen a ghost. That royal protection from his dad was officially gone for good. He didn't wait for more. He turned tail and booked it. Meanwhile, on the other side, I'd already reached the palace square. Without waiting, I launched my war spear with insane force, absolutely shredding the air. It rocketed toward the dozens of thousands of evil shadow creeps, deleting a huge chunk instantly. The survivors started screaming, flexing their edgy fallen powers. Thick, oily, black energy goop turned into chains to bind me. An infinite ocean of corruption surged straight through the links. But honestly, I felt absolutely nothing. Suddenly, a mental SOS from Hindi echoed in my mind and things got real serious. Just as I prepared to tank, my battle bro let out a roar that shook the whole area. A massive corpse, dozens of meters, smashing through countless buildings, crushed a whole mob of monsters. That impact turned them into mush. The giant wolf was unstoppable. His 1,000-meter frame just pulverized every building in a heartbeat. His ferocious power made them tremble. Seeing that gargantuan corpse, the monsters lost their minds. Lord Layeth was officially dead. Fear spread through them instantly. Emming snapped the chains easily. I finally breathed a sigh. Then I looked at Emming, still dripping in death aura. He needs to chill out. Otherwise, the massive power backlash will be too heavy to handle. Sensing my worried vibes, Emming sent me a thought. The death aura will fade. Hearing that, I just nodded. Time to finish the cleanup. Every monster in that palace, I barely reached the square. When the sky turned pitch black, choking on pure corrupted energy, a massive phantom started buffering in. From that thick, edgy mist, a ghost stretching up. Hundreds of meters, finally fully loaded. His face was a blurry mess, but that battle armor was legit. He dropped a nasty aura bomb. Dark ripples started blasting out, surging in every single direction. And this time, even Indy's shield felt like paper. Then came that classic villain cackle. Total success. It actually worked. This spooky skyscraper-sized phantom is fueled by 10,000 souls. This sky phantom is level 6, packing the power of the gods. Talk about a massive power trip. The ghost screamed, "Listen, brat, you iced our boss, now die." I just stood there unbothered. I summoned Tiancan from the void. Then I spammed every buff straight onto my boy Emming. With an earth-shaking roar, Emming went full kaiju mode. 1,000 meters of pure muscle, coiling around his brothers protectively. His energy flex, just as terrifying as the phantom. Time for the celestial furnace domain. Triple talent fusion, let's go. The whole field ignited instantly. Black flames with golden sparks erupted like a divine volcano. That sit-down energy instantly nuked the dark territory. Zushi finally lost his cool. He noped right out of there, scared of that black gold heat. Wait, how is he this OP? This territory is nothing like before. Entering doesn't just suck my life, it crushes my cultivation too. Right now, no bloodthirsty aura gathers above the crown of Hemming's head. Instead, his body is marked with infinite runes of darkness shining with divine light. Under this majestic, heavy pressure, dominant and horrific, the air feels incredibly heavy now. Gold and black power flares, making him look like a devil god. His roar echoes across 10,000 miles. Buffed by the heavenly furnace and hell prison domains, Hemming's form is now truly monstrous. Every strike he lands carries heavy, suppressive divine force, chilling and terrifying. Seeing this, Zushi's eyes flicker with an even deeper gloom. He quickly pumps his corruption into the ghost summon. The phantom spikes 100 meters, becoming a giant titan. Ancient black wings on its back stretch for 1,000 meters. The Shadow Realm surges, instantly smashing against the heavenly furnace field. They merge as shockwaves of ash, soot, and gold, erupt in violent tides blasting in every direction. This fight is on another level, no one can step in. Right then, worlds away in a dusty gray temple. On a spiked throne, a humanoid being in fierce gray combat armor jerks his eyes open. A vibe of pure dread awakens. Someone tapped into void power. He traced the energy back, hunting a hidden soul thread. A soul shard possessed the fallen wraith. Instantly, the ghoul's eyes ignited. This zombie finally woke up. Daiyoshin's spirit claimed the vessel. The corpse was claimed. Glaring at Emming, he gasped. This pup isn't even 6 months old with a Circle 6 domain total monster talent. Suddenly, with a boom, a savage roar, Emming shredded the dark zone. Shrugging off the rot, his tyrant claws, crackling with sealing force, slashed through the very air. Daiyoshin's eyebrows twitched in shock. He retreated back 1,000 meters. But Emming was a shadow closing the distance. That insane suppression weight crippled the wraith. Striking now, Emming's sword high double-fisted claw strike. Crushed by gravity, Daiyoshin's avatar hit the dirt, blasting a huge crater open. Pure rage fueled Emming's charge, burning with celestial furnace heat. He gave no mercy, letting no distance remain. Claws rained down like hellfire. Then 4 eyes flickered gray, and a deathly aura exploded, dissolving everything it touched. Even if Daiyoshin was undead, the power of death would define his final end. No one escapes fate. Daiyoshin's face turned pale now. 4 different talents, even for a small fragment. Let him vanish and nothing changes, but this Shadow Wolf's potential is terrifying. He must die now or very soon. Humanity will crown a brand new king. A powerhouse of his godlike caliber will block our fallen demon legion's path. With that dark realization dawning, Daiyoshin stopped holding anything back. His corruptive aura exploded outward, blasting Aiming aside before soaring skyward. In that heartbeat, infinite tides of filth surged inward. The demon horde watched in terror as their very own cursed mana was violently ripped from their bodies, leaving their physical forms hollowed out until they dropped dead. A massive ebony spear, 1,000 meters long, manifested in the sky. Its sheer weight shattered the atmosphere. Dark shockwaves rippled through the air in every single direction. It was a nightmare, yet worse followed. His ashen domain began to shrink and condense onto that black lance. Witness the peak evolution of a true sovereign rank. His domain control dwarfs any mortal. Ordinary beings cannot even comprehend. He can crush foes with expansion or condense power into his weapon. Daiyoshin's eyes remained cold, merciless. He locked onto my position instantly. Within a mere heartbeat, Aiming blinked across 1 kilometer, shielding me with his massive frame. Daiyoshin sneered, predictable, master-protecting Mutt die. Then his hand froze mid-swing. The sky prison didn't expand outward. It imploded with terrifying physical force. This concentrated, hyper-compressed energy fused directly into his very soul. Ancient black and gold markings ignited across his skin intensely as ultimate god-tier pressure descended. It surged for miles. The ground instantly cratered 30 feet deep. Countless debris ground into fine dust. Daiyoshin, hovering above, absolutely livid, thrusts his black lance a mile, like a dark lightning bolt. It reaches Aiming in a heartbeat. A 7th circle strike, pure devastation. But Aiming's suppression aura slows it. Pure boss energy radiating. Its speed is cut in half. Aiming roars with fury. He catches the spearhead bare-handed. These 2 monsters collide violently. Boom, a massive explosion. The shockwave rips through space, stretching for tens of miles. Right then, black and gold runes flash wildly. Aiming's physical stats are soaring. He's becoming an absolute tank. He doesn't back down. The ground beneath keeps shattering. Daiyoshin pumps in max corruption power, trying to pierce his defenses. After minutes of this intense clash, the spearhead begins to crack. The damage is spreading fast. Aiming roars, unleashing everything. His full power and domain explode. The massive spear finally shatters, exploding into 1,000 black shards. Suddenly, Daiyoshin's illusion runs dry, dissolving into a dark mist. In his final moments, Daiyoshin memorizes my face before vanishing back Ashen Palace. Daiyoshin stands from his throne. His abyssal aura is terrifying. The demonesses tremble in fear. He's only level 20, compressing his domain. Already, his gaze is serious. Such power mastery is truly frightening. Those are the conditions requirements for that 10th circle throne. That Shadow Wolf hit it at level 20. But get this, that wolf's crazy domain wasn't just some fancy aura. It literally fused with his body. That's some high-tier flex only a true celestial king could actually pull off. Daiyoshin sighs and the beast shuts up. He likely used a cheat item to upload my stats onto the kill on sight list of the actual fallen demon race. Alongside all the human prodigies destined for greatness, they're all getting tagged, so those beefy S-rank demons can hunt them down. He leans back, eyes closed, sinking into a moody silence. Meanwhile, on the scorched earth, Hemming stands tall, an absolute unit rocking black and gold divine runes, with pure main character energy. I finally cut the buffs and heals. My brain felt like mush world spinning, even with my spirit recharge active. Those buffs were totally draining me dry. After a painful wait, the dungeon clear notification finally popped. Boom. Just like that. Hemming and I vanished into thin air. Time's up, calculating the final score. Total kills 1 S-rank boss. Saved 974 lucky souls. Rank perfect class, stat growth +3. Buffs and heals effectively upgraded, summon evolved into sacred summoning. Back home, I unsummoned Hemming fast before she wrecked my entire room. Then I checked my status screen for that sweet class promotion. I just need one more flawless evaluation from the reincarnation dungeon to get it. But man, these skill buffs are massive. My reinforcement amp jumped from 20 to 35%, and my recovery went from slow to high-speed regeneration. The catch, my mana cost doubled. The real jackpot, my upgraded summon spell. Now every beast I call must have a holy aura. I was vibrating with excitement. I didn't rush to summon. Instead, I played it cool, grabbed my phone, and checked the latest news on Bayon. That's when I saw a report on hundreds of survivors appearing out of thin air. I finally breathed again. The news explained they were our brothers from another world enslaved by those Oran demons. They were saved by a reincarnator, wearing shining silver armor. They were warped to where authorities would look after them properly. Looking at the photos, those skeletal bodies were already recovering. Zhu Yuan must have shared his blood to revive them. Once the tension snapped, exhaustion hit like a truck. I collapsed and passed out instantly. At dawn, Hemming Yi's trio returned exhausted. Seeing me sleeping like a log, they fumed and dragged me awake. Turns out after the army leaked the video of me slaying the three-headed snake, the internet absolutely exploded. Everyone found out that I cleared it solo. Everyone started grinding missions like maniacs, so my team didn't get any rest either. Then, Chihuayan suddenly. He finally spoke up. Those Bell and Academy tryhards are spamming team missions like sweats. Their efficiency is basically cheating. Our trio's motivation just exploded. Dinner canceled, grind starts now, they vanish instantly. Hunting teammates to keep grinding. I just grinned at them. My turn to move. Heading to the mission board. It's been 12 whole hours. Total slacker behavior, honestly. My rank tanked from 10th to 2000th. After thinking for a second, I grabbed the level 59 boss, plus a rank 6 reincarnation quest. Peace out, guys. Left that soldier girl totally speechless. This quest, hunt a monster. The terrifying mountain-sized beast, Lindsay. Even instructors are too scared. The commander looked stressed but hopeful. My stalker, Drone, kept following my every move. Hour later, riding Herming. We hit the mountain range. There in the wasteland, I saw a wolf. A dark gold leopard wolf. Those golden eyes snapped open. Its 600-meter body rose, ground shook, tyrant aura everywhere. It roared, "Get out, punks." I quietly hopped off. Step back. Herming, you're up. Its level is insane. Me fight. Yeah, no thanks. Need points. As soon as possible for Hindy's fusion metal. Hindi needs those upgrades bad. Safely, away from the danger. I'll just watch, thanks. Yiming's gaze shifted. His cold eyes locked onto the dark gold leopard bear. Suddenly, his massive frame surged, instantly exploding past 1,000 meters long, standing 650 meters at the shoulder. A majestic power erupted everywhere, completely drowning the beast in pure terror. Over at the command post, the officer was losing it only half a day. He grew from a measly few hundred meters to over 1,000. Even Yang Chao's jaw hit the floor. Seriously, a triple S rank growth talent that is just illegal for a human. As the ground started splitting apart, Himing launched forward like a rocket. Inky black flames exploded into the sky. A 2,000-meter demonic phantom manifested, covering 6 kilometers in pure darkness. The whole area was swallowed by fire. Then it shrunk back to 2,000 meters. Talk about being efficient with your mana. Ever since his showdown with Du Yuan, his control over his domain and power had reached a terrifying new level. The dark gold leopard bear howled, spinning a cloak of razor-sharp wind. Its claws were shining with golden light. But against that nightmare spectral form, its 600-meter body looked tiny. The pitch-black flaming claw swung down with absolute savage force. The bear desperately tried to parry it. Massive waves of raw power, gold and black energy exploded everywhere, making the entire world shake. Those wind blades were eaten as the bear faced a truly soul-crushing pressure. The ground crumbled beneath its massive paws. Its knees were actually starting to bend. It let out a furious roar, muscles bulging to the limit. It unleashed an even sharper windstorm. But the demonic phantom suddenly shifted, changing the game entirely. Emin saw his opening and lunged forward. Dark claws shredded through the air, leaving 4 gashes straight to the bone. The gold bear shrieked, finally realizing that cursed black flames were seeping in, devouring his life force through the wounds. His gaze turned purely savage, launching a desperate, frantic counteroffensive. Crimson blood painted the earth red. Plot twist, all that blood belonged to Goldie. Thanks to his edgy shadow double, Emin made a 2-on-1 look like child's play. Finally, the gold bear roared in agony. His aura surged to the absolute limit, then he pulled a nope and bolted, fleeing deep into the mountain range, smashing giant trees like mere toothpicks, kicking up massive clouds of dust. After a second of wait, really, Emin immediately gave chase, with 2,500 points in agility. His speed was absolutely insane. He closed the gap in a heartbeat. The gold bear glanced back. Terrified, he shrieked for his king's help. High on a distant jagged peak, a sleeping titan slowly opened its eyes. Blue lightning crackled across its massive frame. A terrifying roar echoed for 60 miles. Amidst that deafening, thunderous boom, a 1,000-meter beast stepped out. This lightning monster loomed over everything. It's the Mad Bear from episode 62. Goldie scrambled to the titan's side, complaining that Emin was bullying him. Hearing that snitching, the Mad Bear instantly unleashed blue lightning. It surged outward with zero chill, under a sky that was perfectly clear. A torrential downpour started to fall. The Mad Bear instantly unleashed blue lightning. It surged outward with zero chill. Under a sky that was perfectly clear, a torrential downpour started to fall. Rain came crashing down hard. Infinite lightning bolts fell while the storm clouds swirled, forming a massive lightning cyclone. Total apocalypse vibes here. That is a giant beast's domain bending the heavens and earth. It mops the floor with dewotion. Talk about a royal tier flex. My gaze darkened. I grabbed the Tiankang talisman to buff up my boy, Hemming Boomy. Quanshan's face turned sour. The floor shattered as he lunged straight for Hemming. Suddenly, pitch-black hellfire erupted, dripping with pure, scary energy. Bursting out of Hemming's body, divine gold patterns appeared everywhere. An alpha aura swept out, making Boomy Quanshan actually shake. His lightning domain totally wrecked. Heavenly Purgatory is the boss. Standing 1,000 meters tall, Hemming is a literal demon god. His vibe is pure nightmare. Boomy is left completely shook, seeing that brutal elbow strike coming like a dark bolt. He roars, swinging his claws as all powers collide hard. A shockwave tsunamis the area. My ears are ringing. Boomy goes into overdrive mode, but he can't escape the grip of Heavenly Purgatory. This domain is broken. A triple talent fusion masterpiece packing some serious throne energy. Dark domains. Not even close. He screams in pure rage. He swings a thunderous fist. Hemming doesn't even flinch, unleashing those black light claws. Fearless, he just lets fly. Those dark light claws. Squaring off against the duo 1,000-meter titans in a storm of blows, shockwaves blast out in rapid succession, shattering the earth into millions of pieces. The surrounding forest is totally erased. Heavenly lightning strikes down without pause, hammering right onto Hemming's massive body. He's banking solely on high-tier defense, tanking every hit like a boss without giving his enemy any openings. I'm just watching from afar, sneakily casting a low-key healing spell. This neck-and-neck brawl suddenly shifts, and Hemming takes the upper hand. Yin Jue Xiang triggered and screaming. Hurry up and kill that human. Yan Jin Bao Xiang charges with murder eyes. Suddenly, a gray power explodes with fury. A death sentence shrouds Yan Jin Bao Xiang. A gray aura. A true zero-life zone. He collapses critically, wounded and broken. Tu Miqiang seizes the moment. His claws flash like blinding lightning, slamming into Hemming's head with force. Under that absolutely terrifying physical power, Hemming buckles as the earth caves into Miqiang. Xiang tries to pancake him. Bolts of lightning rain down frantically. Right at that very moment, Yan Jin Bao Xiong stands and roars. My expression goes totally dark. Contemplating a tactical get-lost boom, a distant blast echoes out. Through the dust, a woman appears, wielding a 4-meter-long monster halberd. Clad in golden armor, she sprints. It's Ji Fei. She's insanely fast. Every step she takes cracks the ground, having a massive trail in her wake. Closing in on Yanjin Bao Xiong, she raises that massive halberd high. The blade grows to 20 meters long. She swings with god-tier physical strength. That blade's glow melts everything away, dealing some seriously devastating deep wounds, lacerating Anjin Baoxiang's already broken body. Anjin Baoxiang glares with murderous intent and tries to squish him with a giant paw. Ji Fei's battle aura surges even higher now, and he dodges with a lightning-fast leap. Then, with one savage sideways swing, he carves right into Anjin Baoxiang's meat. In just a few short minutes, that big lug Anjin Baoxiang hits the dirt, refusing to take the loss. He spams his secret Windblade skill. But Ji Fei saw it coming. His vital energy goes boom, manifesting as a flash of crimson, lightning that blows that breeze away. Ji Fei flies into the air and slams his massive halberd blade down hard, which is now over 30 meters long. Talk about a headache. The tyrant's skull broke. He was super dead. He breathed out and his aura vanished, his body shrinking back to normal. He strolled over with a cocky grin. Master, wasn't that a real tearjerker? Thinking back to his wild strategy, I'm getting major angry female T-Rex vibes. She glares at me like I'm her next meal. I quickly shake my head to change topics. Master G, what are you even doing here? It was so noisy I had to check. That is exactly what Master G face said too. He gives me a little smirk. So if you actually believe me, I take one look at the war police in his hand and say, totally. Emming was relieved I wasn't a pancake. As the heaven refining formation shrunk down to a 1,000-meter zone, the gravity became absolutely insane. It crushed the immortal tyrant's pressure instantly. The two went back to their death match, making the ground shake and mountains crumble. The power level was honestly terrifying. And that is exactly when, within a 10,000-meter range, storm clouds and lightning joined the party. Suddenly, they went wild, pounding the ground relentlessly. Infinite black clouds surged over Hemming like a nightmare, forming a 10,000-meter-wide cyclone eye. Crushing, terrifying power was loading up like a boss, but Hemming zero fear. Just ice in his veins, he squeezed that celestial refining formation down tight. Under that pressure, the power started screaming. It just wouldn't stop its noisy tantrum. In 10 seconds flat, he merged with his domain. Boom, strange black and gold patterns started glowing. They were shining with a literal eye-searing light. An insane heavy pressure suddenly filled the air. It took over this dark, cloudy nightmare world. One side had enough lightning to fry everything. Total divine punishment vibes for real. On the other, a 1,000-meter-tall giant wolf, those black and gold patterns were shining bright. Part god, part demon, he glared at the heavens. Their power literally split the world in half. This scene was absolutely spectacular. Inside the cyclone, lightning gathered for the finish, backed by the immortal tyrant's angry screaming. Then zap, the lightning dropped instantly. 10,000 meters of world went pitch black. A blue lightning pillar challenged the very heavens. It slammed down from the firmament like crazy. That 1,000-meter-wide bolt was no joke. Everything, even the air, got pulverized. It swallowed Hemming's body whole. Thousands of meters of earth just vanished, laying a 300-meter deep hole. But that 600-meter wolf is still standing. His flashy patterns are still shining bright. He's the only light in this dark mess. The immortal tyrant looks totally shook. He bellows, impossible, this can't be. Seriously, how is this even happening? He's having a total does not compute moment. The 600-meter wolf is still standing. Those patterns are still shining like diamonds. He's the only beacon in this gloomy world. The tyrant's face is pure, unadulterated shock. He screams impossible hacker cheat code. Like, how is this even happening right now? He's just roaring in pure, salty frustration. Cloaked in a crushing aura, Emin shattered the earth with every step marching toward the undying tyrant. Those icy eyes were stone cold, radiating pure, you're dead energy. Emin lunged, dropping a nuclear elbow strike. As the tyrant bit the dust, the command center went absolutely wild. We won. This summon is totally OP. He's a literal god. That legendary silhouette standing tall amidst the Titan's lightning. A memory burned into their souls forever. Commander Young just started cackling. As a top-tier 9th rank expert, he saw the hidden flex. Mastering multiple domains. That's strictly king-level stuff. Absolute peak performance. Even he barely manifested his own. He was still a level behind. But that black wolf. It was already domain fusing. The Heavenly King's signature flex. I hit the dorms by sunrise. Suddenly, a wild soldier appears. He handed over a mysterious safe. The commander sends his regards, kid. I gave a cool nod. Back in my room, time to unbox this loot. 6 top-shelf summoning catalysts, just staring back at me. Wait, a bonus prize for clearing those mutant mobs. If that's the deal, let's start the gacha early. Honestly, I was dying for a holy tier pull. Item set, strike a pose. Reached into the empty void. Activated the ultimate summoning ritual. A glowing seal burned into my palm. Dimensional link established. Then a blinding golden light exploded. Long hair, golden wings. A silhouette appeared, exuding a pure divine aura. Staring at this humanoid figure, I quickly scanned its race. Unbelievable. It's an actual angel. Back at the Rift Canyon, Holland barely managed to manifest a virtual form with barely any angelic power. Even that was deemed SS rank. That shows how godly angels truly are. Historically, it seems no summoner has ever successfully called a race as legendary as theirs. After all, they never answer calls or sign pacts with anyone. But seeing this young angel, on the verge of death, with both wings shattered, I paused in deep thought. Great, I summoned a cripple. I just smirked and sighed. Since this little angel answered my call, I won't abandon her now. I stepped closer and touched her pale forehead with my finger. Instantly, a system voice echoed. Analysis. Absolute loyalty, zero betrayal. Establish a life link. No hesitation, I confirmed the link. Unimaginable agony flooded my body. Then a voice announced deep inside, lifelink established. Congratulations. Your summon awakened a talent, the sun and moon rotation. The young angel, still unconscious, lay right before me. I rushed to check status. Still out cold, I see. A massive ancient power suddenly hoisted him into the air. That energy shattered into a million glowing data fragments, surging straight into his soul. His wrecked life essence didn't stand a chance. It started regenerating at god-tier speeds. Finally, the little angel's golden lashes began to flutter. He was finally waking up. He opened his eyes, radiating pure divine energy. In his left eye, a golden sun burned, overflowing with absolute sovereign majesty. Talk about some serious heat, but his right eye cold as ice, piercingly lonely and freezing. Behind him, those soft golden wings fully restored. He gave him a little flex, absolutely breathtaking. From his looks to his insane charisma, he was built different. Human imagination couldn't compete. The tiny angel fluttered over to me, grabbing my shirt with his little hands. Then he whispered one word, master. I couldn't help but smile at the little guy. From now on, we're a team, kid. So what's your name, little angel? I couldn't just give him some random nickname. Angels are born with secret destiny-bound titles. Their one and only true name. Diana, he whispered. I nodded, but I was definitely curious. Diana, why did you answer my call? You're barely a year old. You're just a baby. Answering a summons should have been impossible, especially for an angel. They usually hate being summoned. Yet here he was bound to me. Hearing that, Diana's eyes suddenly went dark. I was thrown from the sacred tree. Darkness corrupted me, and everyone just vanished. It all clicked. The picture was clear. They were under a full-scale enemy invasion. My lucky summon at that exact moment, it was literally his only escape pod. In an instant, I realized the truth. Their home had been completely overrun. My timing was actually a miracle. The only thing that saved his life. Gently stroking her golden hair, I comforted her. It'll all be okay. One day, I'll bring you home. Diana leaned softly into my hand. Yes, master. One thought in her stats appeared. Tier 3 summon angel type. Level 20. Skill divine blessing. Transfers half of all base stats. Plus divine radiance added. Light explodes through heaven and earth. Constant healing for all wounds. Within the strike zone. Grants a layer of protection. Withstands every single attack. Talent. Sun and moon rotation. When the blazing sun rises, nothing can remain hidden. Soul burn activated. When the lonely moon shines. A vengeful blade strikes. Granting absolute power, annulment. When sun and moon align. Judgment hour, the world stops. I was totally speechless. That rotation skill is key. From the solar flare to the lunar glow. Both are insanely overpowered, especially when they overlap. It freezes heaven and earth. That's straight-up time manipulation. Angels are seriously broken. I unsummoned Diana. Back to the monster farm. Meanwhile, right then, at the command center, everyone stared at the screen, faces full of anticipation, waiting for my appearance. But seeing zero monsters, they were totally let down. I gotta see him. What's his face look like? Third summon hype. What's the move? I'm dying here. Must be OP. Everyone's buzzing now. Yang Chao, zero chill. Whatever comes out next, that wolf is enough. My rank stays safe. Deep in the mountains, old geezer mutters gibberish. Reality starts to shake. Cracks spread everywhere now, tearing through the world like a broken mirror. Space just gives up. Massive rift rips open, shredded by demonic claws. From the other side, 100 Heduos appear now. Power levels totally cracked. Circles 4 and 5. Real bosses can't fit. Portal is super sketchy. Might pop any second. Supreme beings could pass with a better door. But if they did, barrier would just shatter. Humans would notice them. Yes, baby. Time for a bloodbath. Malice surges like crazy. Old man looks shook, but he stays professional. Where's my promised loot? Boss, Heduo just sneers. Tosses him a bag. He fumbles to grab. Both greedy hands. One quick mental scan. Eyes turn into money. This is the jackpot. 7th awakening, let's go. Right to level 7. And that fat reward was just for leaking a tiny bit of intel on the human race. Talk about a low-effort payday. Yahello scowled, clearly wanting more. Hurry up and hand over the list of this region's top genius leaderboard. The middle-aged rat scrambled to comply, shoving the hit list forward that he'd spent days meticulously preparing. You need to watch out for this one guy named Chen Lin. Yahello just scoffed. Level 16, are you joking? The kid's a complete nobody. Why bother? The trader explained. 3 days ago, get this, at level 16, he actually closed a 28 level gap to. Solo, a mutant beast. He pulled out the receipts, the video. One watch was all it took. Yahello's jaw practically hit the floor. That strategy, it's terrifyingly efficient. In our entire depraved clan, only Chiang's pulls that off. This human's plot armor ends today. Beside him, Yaklus's eyes sparkled wickedly. Licking her lips, she purred, "He's mine." Yaklus sighed. He knew that look. His sister had a type, and she just found her new toy. She turned him into her personal puppet, which was basically a fate worse than death. He signaled the squad. "Find your targets. Let the hunt begin. 0 survivors, no mercy." The depraved crew flashed nasty, jagged grins, then blasted off into the sky. Suddenly, a patrol drone caught the movement. "Contact, it's the depraved clan." "Wait, how did they get here?" "Tell the newbies to run for their lives. All units lock and load. Now, facing monsters at circle 4 or higher." The officer's face went pale. Orders flew. The base erupted into total chaos. Yun Xiao didn't even flinch. "Let's roll," he muttered, turning away. The officer gave a sharp nod. She knew exactly what he intended. He was diving straight into the fire. But those injuries were a ticking bomb. Just thinking about it. Vengeful fire blazed in her eyes. She cursed her own pathetic weakness, powerless to even join the fight. The squad stood there, hearts heavy. Silence smothered the entire command center. Only the buzz of radio orders remained. Meanwhile, high up in the sky, a thirsty-looking demon was hovering nearby, just drifting there, looking for trouble. She was eyeing that silver-armored guy, protected by a massive black wolf. Yahello flashed a wicked grin. "Oh, jackpot, this is too easy. Found my target in record time, and he looks totally beaten down. New toy acquired, you're all mine." Yahello hungrily licked her lips. She lunged forward like a predator. Sinister black threads exploded from her. They burst out from every pore. Suddenly, a nasty aura hit me. My eyes snapped open instantly. My gaze was colder than ice. Atang already had his hackles up. Yahello's eyes locked onto him. She stared into those gray pits. A wave of pure terror hit her. "Wait, what's with this scary vibe?" Her body started shaking like crazy. She pulled it together barely. Leia decided to shoot her shot. She fired every thread at once. They swarmed Atang like hungry locusts. Golden light flared, blocking the junk. Those gray eyes didn't even blink. And in the next heartbeat, Leia's mind was yanked away. Trapped in a cold, empty abyss. 2 gray eyes, cold and merciless, snapped wide open. Beneath that soul-piercing gaze, a wave of infinite dread hit her completely, hijacking her basic survival instincts. The Yahello was shaking like a leaf, totally paralyzed. She was stuck in spectator mode, watching helplessly as he closed in step by step. Looming over her like a final boss, it only took him a few heartbeats to bridge the gap and stand before her. With one casual paw swipe, he flattened her like a pancake. Abyssal black flames erupted instantly, starting to slow-cook her soul. This great Yahello, a level 56, corrupted. Yeah, she didn't even get to press a button. Back at HQ, where the silence was getting awkward, a screen suddenly flared to life. "Nice, Black Wolf. You're an absolute beast," Hemming cheered. Shanghai Dao is 100 meters out. He's still alive. Ignoring Hemming's fanboy energy, I gave him a stone-cold reply. "Finish the job. Make sure he stays dead." "Understood." Now that Diana's got my back, even if I send Hemming away, I'm not worried about getting sneak attacked. On it, his massive frame turned the ground to rubble as he rocketed toward his target. Elsewhere, that Yahello girl with a face twisted in pure log-out terror was speeding toward the spatial portal for dear life. This is insane. That Black Wolf is literally a walking glitch. Even with that gray shadow out of sight, I'm still sweating bullets over here. Right now, she had one mission: get out and snitch to the higher-ups that the humans just spawned. A literal god-tier anomaly. As for their genius hunting mission, let's just say it was a total team wipe. As long as this Black Wolf is roaming, any corrupted who sees him is already dead. That's when a massive sonic boom shattered the air right behind her. The Yahello nearly died of fright. But wait, Hemming. My big buddy clearly has some serious separation anxiety. Suddenly, he started hitting a massive growth spurt. He bulked up into a 1,000-meter titan of doom, blurring across the map like he's using cheat codes. Surprise, he's right behind those poor doomed Yahellos. Down comes a giant shadow paw of pure destruction. The ground melts as the shockwave levels 10,000 meters, trapped under Hemming's massive but definitely not fluffy paw. Black flames turned those monsters into charcoal snacks. My intel confirmed the corrupted reached the Belian peaks, so I did a bit of quick mental math. I'm going solo on a corrupted hunting spree. With 2 overpowered summons in my pocket right now, sticking with the group is just a total XP waste. I whipped out a micro-drone to lead the way. "Go on, Emming, follow the little mechanical birdie." And just like that, he bolted like a rocket. I've never seen him this hyped to smash things. Those gray eyes were glowing with its go time. The officer can't help but let out a sigh. How did this kid get so strong so fast? Give him just one more year at this rate and he'll be throwing hands with a legendary throne. Honestly, just thinking about it gives me a headache. In history, only 85 people reached the throne rank. That's a whole century's worth of humanity's absolute best. Most of these guys fought for over 10 years. They are the ultimate peak of human power, period. The one in a billion geniuses who actually survive the grind. But alien races make reaching throne rank super rare. The front line is basically a giant cosmic meat grinder. Even the chosen ones get chewed up out there. One enemy push and it's game over for everyone. Even legends fall when the odds are this bad. Now, only 30 of these powerhouses are still standing. But right as the officer is processing all this, he looks up at the sky and just freezes. A crushing heavy weight slams down from the clouds. That's definitely the get on your knees, throne energy. He couldn't help but stare straight at the source. A golden streak is ripping through the sky now. It's a guy rocking some seriously shiny gold armor. He teleports right in front of them instantly. The officer snaps to attention like a terrified recruit. Talk about some perfect and terrifying timing. High in the mountains, a golden armored goddess appeared, swinging a massive, soul-shredding war halberd wreathed in a terrifying blood-red aura. She was soloing 4 corrupted beasts, each one exceeding level 55. Under her crimson pressure, the air itself shattered. The corrupted monsters couldn't even survive her direct impact. They were constantly forced into retreat. Watching the carnage unfold, Ryakuru's brow furrowed in annoyance, manifesting a pitch-black spear in his hand. He had zero time to waste. Many more geniuses were waiting for their end. Ryakuru lunged his dark spear, pulsing with the power of corruption, striking with a truly devastating force. Faced with this sudden ambush, Ji-Fei's instincts reacted with lightning speed. Her blood and energy exploded outward as her halberd's edge expanded instantly. A violent storm of mana erupted immediately, and Ji-Fei's eyes burned with a savage battle lust. Shrouded in a sinister red glow, her weapon decimated everything it touched. Pure, unadulterated annihilation. Ryakuru stared at his shattered spear, his face turning deadly serious. This much power at level 55. She must be eliminated now. Ray instantly unleashed his true corruption. A torrent of pitch-black energy surged, swallowing everything for 100 meters. The world went dark in seconds. The other tanky corrupted monsters also began venting their dark power. Ji-Fei's body was cloaked in brilliance. Her vitality burned bright to counter corrosion, her gaze turning cold as a monarch's. Are you seeking death? She blurred toward Ryakuru instantly, tearing through the air while swinging her halberd aiming straight for the kill. Corrupted lackeys tail him to jump Ji-Fei. Ji-Fei ignores these small fry entirely. His aura peaks in pure rage. He won't stop until Ryakuru dies. Super armor's failing under this corrosion. Total assimilation is closing in fast. Nearby, King Kong catches the vibe. Panic sets in as he redlines. He pummels the level 56 corrupted, desperate to help Master J. Master J is cornered after saving them. The corrupted smirks reading his move. They're locked in a deathmatch. Meanwhile, Ryakuru chugs some ashen blood. Aura spikes into the 6th ring. He's flexing throne tier power now. True blood power is legit scary. Ryakuru cracks a nasty wide grin. He summons a dark spear instantly. The lethal point blurs across. Crack armor shatters under the blow. The dark spear pierces flesh, exiting out through Ji-Fei's back. Blood drips down to the dirt. Seeing this, Ryakuru just laughs. He stalks forward. Become my slave. Suddenly, a silver spear falls. It cuts the darkness at his feet. A silver-armored figure enters the fray. Ryakuru scowls, looking slightly annoyed. So my sister didn't kill you. Guess she's officially dead then. Ryakuru stays stone-faced and cold. He doesn't give a damn. Suddenly, a silver war spear drops. It cuts the shadows at his feet. A silver-armored warrior joins the fray. Ryakuru frowns, clearly a bit piqued. Did my sister really fail you? Guess she's officially kicked the bucket. Ryakuru stays cold as ice. He isn't bothered at all. Not even a little bit. Zero grief for his sister. So I scoped the scene. Outmatched immediately. One single thought, tiny humanoid creature under a foot, with golden wings appeared. Holy vibes spread instantly. Those 6 froze. Jaws dropped. Angel. But then eyes grew greedy. Baby angel, easy. Corrupting an angel. For these creeps, the ultimate prize. Ryakuru snapped. Hey Chanel, thanks for loot. Feeling gross stares, Diana was annoyed. She knew this. Home-wrecking punks. Diana saw red. She took flight. Sun ignited, left golden hair glowing. Holy light exploded, giant golden sun. Massive and bright blaze behind her. Diana transformed instantly into tall warrior. Eyes screamed power. Truly divine. Light blinded them within seconds. Darkness deleted. Villains felt burn their bodies, screaming in agony. Powers instantly nerfed. Pure terror hit. Fallen versus angels, never friends. Mortals whose powers once canceled each other, but under that massive burning sun, the balance was officially shattered now. A soul purification with such insane, unmatched power. The crushing weight of their sins. As the cold, ruthless verdict finally dropped, the colossal sun behind Diana suddenly exploded, its golden light burning even more intensely. Gold light drenched 10,000 meters of land as if a second sun appeared between the sky and earth. The terrifying might of that great sun shook the entire surrounding area. Those fallen bodies ignited suddenly with glowing incandescent golden fire, soul-scorching torture at its absolute finest. In a heartbeat, they all started screaming. Rayak's face twisted into a mask of pain. His earlier arrogance vanished completely, leaving only pure agony and a desperate losing struggle. He unleashed his fallen power with every ounce of strength. Sixth ring power doubled by his amplification gift formed a dark barrier around his shaking body, trying to repel those burning golden flames. However, unlike the black flames of Hemming, this soul-piercing attack could literally slice through any physical defense. Blocking it physically was just totally impossible. Only high-level spiritual defenses could withstand its terrifying soul erosion. The dark aura faded. Weakened, Jifei looked up and stared at that figure standing high in the sky. A vision of beauty and crushing majesty so overwhelming you couldn't look directly at her. He actually started to laugh, summoning an actual angel. You're on a whole different level. Divine power itself fused with golden light flooded across the earth. Everyone's wounds began to heal in record time. King Kong, covered in deep, bloody gashes, felt a wave of gentle warmth. His pain vanished in an instant, leaving him with nothing to fear. He went full glass cannon mode, pure aggro, zero defense, ready to trade his life just to take the guy down. Suddenly, a massive sun blazed into existence overhead, flipping the entire script of the battle. Ryakuru, the supposed scholar of the bunch, realized his textbooks had totally lied to him. Holy crap, weren't these young angels supposed to be nothing more than basic support units? One look into Diana's eyes. Those majestic glowing golden orbs was enough to make his whole soul shake. Her gaze was so sharp it literally blinded him. It felt like staring down the legendary titan of his own freaking bloodline. He knew he couldn't just stand there or his soul would end up extra crispy. Kill that human right now, he shrieked. Dark aura exploded as he charged Diana like a madman. He was desperate to shut her down. Diana, cool as ice, slowly raised one hand. A million fiery blades manifested around her, locking onto every single fallen in the area. Packed with holy fire and get-wrecked energy, those golden swords turned Ryakuru into a pincushion, sending him crashing down 100 meters. In that very moment, Diana, hovering high above the clouds, looked like a goddess commanding the sun itself. The fallen were all gnashing their teeth, pinned by those glowing golden swords. It wasn't just the physical wounds, though. That holy light was literally nuking the dark energy right out of their bodies. Their souls were basically being deep-fried. Screw this sun, we don't stand a ghost of a chance. Ryakuru's face looked darker than a rainy Monday. Everyone chill. Empress Feline promised some backup for this hunt. Just as the words left his mouth, mysterious figures in gray capes emerged and came sprinting from the distance. And every one of them was rank 6. Spotting those Shadowbrand capes, Jifei's rage meter exploded. Glaring with fury, he yelled, "Stop!" But those heretics didn't care. They lunged forward instantly, clearly wanting my head. Goddess Diana unleashed a golden soul burn to fry them. While ice swords appeared, they rocketed toward them. But those heretics decided to tank it. In her great sun form, Diana lacked a fatality move. Suddenly, her solar halo started fading. Then on her right, a full moon rose with golden light. A lonely icy moon hanging in the void. Miles of territory instantly darkened, bathed in that creepy lunar glow, leaking a terrifying frost aura. The heretics turned ghost white. Looking up, they realized her solar form was gone. Diana's eyes were now crystal clear, totally emotionless. Her holy aura vanished. Only a terrifying death stench remained. Her golden wings turned silver white. Standing before the moon, she looked like a mysterious goddess. 9 circular blades appeared, spinning slowly, pulsing with dark red void power. With a bone-chilling voice, 6 nullification blades sliced through the sky. Their speed was insane, hitting those heretics in a blink. Faces frozen in terror, they desperately popped their best shields. But against that nullification power that shatters any defense, their protection was fragile glass. Everything was cleaved apart. Right at that moment, free from the sun's crushing weight, the Ryakuru charged Diana instantly. Terrifying dark energy surged forth, solidifying into a 30-foot black spear he hurled. That dark spear tore through the sky toward Diana supersonically, but one circular blade met the attack immediately. It pulverized the black spear, while 2 other blades zoomed toward the Ryakuru. Then several demons on the ground rushed straight at me, eyes burning with murderous intent. This human must be deleted. This Black Wolf's level 28 power, but that angel controlling the sun and moon is even crazier. Crushing level 50 opponents easily, even over level 60. If he hits his peak potential, our future is basically a disaster. But Diana raised her hand, launching blades to slice those demons up. The 3 cancellation blades suddenly collided and merged together, forming 3 interlocking rings instantly, overcharging. The cancellation power surging within. A dark red flash erupted. and every demon was popped instantly. Glancing once more at the Ryukuru desperately trying to survive, Diana slowly raised her hand and 6 of her circular blades merged. Seeing this, the Ryukuru's face turned totally pale. He burned his royal blood and final energy, barely knocking the 3 blades away. The Ryukuru looked at me super salty. Why would such a perfect angel risk her life for this guy? Suddenly, a sinister chuckle echoed from an obsidian wheel, as it spun a flash, ignited beneath him for 100 meters. This, chance to summon a sovereign, was originally meant for that Tips's awakening prodigy, to stop a powerful guardian from protecting him. But my twin summons showed off potential that was way too terrifying. They couldn't let my level up streak continue. That's when countless mystical runes started weaving together in a complex dance, forming a massive pitch-black summoning array. That abomination, 10 meters tall and gray slowly, emerged as a terrifying aura exploded instantly. Even the air became impossible to breathe. King Kong's crew turned pale, feeling pure despair overwhelmed their very souls. Wisps of dark smoke began to spread, and everywhere the mist touched, the flora withered and rotted away. Diana's expression turned dead serious. With one wave, her lunar wheel transformed into a blazing sun in the sky, but its light couldn't even dent the encroaching darkness. I knew things were going south fast, and honestly, I wanted to bolt. But I stayed put, because as that black circle appeared, Yang Xiao just casually tapped my shoulder. He said, "I've been waiting for this rival clan's sovereign. Don't be scared." Hearing those words, I instantly realized this was a long-planned ultimate trap. And sure enough, the enemy sovereign totally ignored me. Instead, he fixed his cold gaze upon the ancient base. There, as that massive summoning circle materialized, an insane power suddenly erupted. Shattering every cloud in the sky, he descended with soul-crushing pressure, crossing the distance in mere breaths, glaring at the kid in the void. The enemy sovereign finally opened his mouth. "Zhan Yu, aren't you supposed to be on duty leading your post like this? Aren't you terrified that your precious defense line will be overrun by those Wuzu?" Zhan Yu just shrugged and said, "Who cares? In any case, we humans decided to stop playing nice." The enemy king realized right away that he had walked into a trap, but honestly, he didn't give a damn. Zhan Yu looked down and started barking. "What are you losers still waiting for? Want to die from the shockwaves? Get moving." Yang Xiao immediately hauled everyone away. A clash between two sovereigns. Their shockwaves alone can literally delete an area spanning hundreds of miles. Even though Zhan Yu's protective domain could mitigate some of that power, we'd only be an obstacle staying here. Seeing them retreat, the enemy king didn't interfere. With Zhan Yu blocking him, he couldn't touch them. Over the last 2 years, he'd been such a beast that his strength was basically legendary among almost all the enemy forces. As we were making our escape, a massive gray domain exploded outward, and even with our barriers up, the shockwaves from those two monsters duking it out made the whole world shake like crazy. The others got ready to mop up the remaining freaks, but Yang Xiao pulled me aside. "Chen Lin, let your summon handle it instead." I thought about it and realized he was right. Yindi hasn't leveled up in ages. She'd probably get wrecked, even by a 4th circle abomination. So I let Diana solo those ugly bastards. Yang Xiao stared at me totally shook. "Man, I really didn't see this coming. Your 3rd summon is a literal angel. An angel's raw combat power. It's just as terrifying as that shadow wolf. Reach sovereign rank and you'll hand the entire human race a massive win. 2 sovereign-level powerhouses on our side." Then Chao dropped the real bombshell. The enemy thought they'd leaked our secrets, but they were just dancing. To the rhythm of our bait, we let them believe they won, feeding their ego to control everything. Just to trigger the ultimate trap, he clearly valued me a lot, spilling every detail of the operation. The whole damn plan was laid bare. I stayed silent while he explained. Now I see the whole 4D chessboard. Since secrets were out, humanity pivoted, using the info to set a counter trap. Step 1. Wipe out every corrupt elite in our rear. Step 2. Bait an alien throne. Lure him here and execute him. But the price was brutal. Entire cities were used as sacrificial pawns in the plan. The people there didn't even know they were bait, but that's just how cosmic war goes. It's survival of the fittest civilization. Just then, the dust finally settled. Amy and Diana finished the cleanup. Diana shrunk down and flew over. She grabbed my hand, squeezing tight. Total proud dad moment right here. After 10 hours of pure carnage, the gray fog finally cleared out. Then, a mysterious young man appeared, walking on air, crossing tens of thousands of meters instantly. He landed right in front of us. His aura was trashed, but he charged until Yang Xiao blocked him. Yang Xiao rushed and asked Zhan Yu how to go laughable. A puny alien throne subdued with one simple hand. Could there be a problem? Zhan Yu sneered with arrogance. But right beside him, Diana cast a holy glow. She sensed this cocky guy standing there was being eaten by corruption. Zhang Yu's brow twitched immediately. Kid, can you really heal me? Wait, an angel, don't stop. Heal for 5 seconds. Diana shook her head. My holy mana is empty. Throne corruption is pure terror. Even with my holy light, I barely cleansed a drop. Zhang Yu suppressed his pain. My burdens are too heavy. My face stayed totally blank. Are all thrones this dramatic? Young Xiao quickly switched topics. Zhang Yu, meet this young man. This is Shen Lin, the alien's main #1 death target. Zhang Yu's eyes snapped to me. So you're the legendary guy who'd supposedly slam my head. I stood there looking confused. Then he spotted Hemming nearby and his eyes sparkled. Majestic wolf, let me ride. With a shout, he lunged, but Hemming dodged instantly. Zhang Yu's face froze in shock. Wait, what's this mean? Snubbing a literal throne tame? You today, or my name's Mud. Whoa, brother Zhang Yu, take it easy, don't do that. He's a vital pillar for the entire future of Yaxia. We can't afford to let a rift grow between us now. Zhang Yu's gaze shifted slowly toward Yang Xiao. He turned away, hands behind his back, looking both defeated and majestic. I've saved humanity countless times, yet I can't even ride a wolf. Seriously. Humph. Whatever. I'm out of here. With a dramatic flourish, he drifted off toward Anqing base. Yang Xiao and I scrambled to keep up with his pace. Inside the office, Zhang Yu hijacked the head seat like a boss. He made himself comfortable without a single care in the world. So Yang Xiao asked, brother, how's the nightmare at the front? Has the situation spiraled even further into total chaos? For years, Zhang Yu had been holding down the fort, suppressing a deadly curse that grew more toxic by the day, all while paving the way for my legendary 10th evolution. I need to coordinate with the front to grasp the stakes and carve out my own path in this brutal war. I fear a fresh onslaught is coming to drain our lifeblood. Shen Shang warned me the enemy attacks like clockwork. Every time, tens of thousands of warriors are ground into dust. Even god-tier sovereigns aren't safe from that meat grinder. They're just betting on their endless, overwhelming numbers. It's a heartless strategy of attrition, life for life. But for humanity, that's a trade we can't afford to make. Every single fallen soldier is a devastating blow to our race, especially the geniuses born with those rare hidden classes. They're destined to become top-tier 9th-ranked powerhouses. Suddenly, Zhang Yu tossed a heavy storage bag my way packed with life crystals and high-grade cultivation resources. Your summons have the power to terrify the gods themselves. Obviously, we aren't going to let you struggle alone. And the debt we owe you, it's far bigger than this. Yang Xiao added, his grin radiating pure confidence. His words hit me right in the feels. That summoning potential of yours is honestly frightening. We'll make sure you have everything you need to grow. Believe me, we owe you way more than just these scraps. Yang Xiao gave me an encouraging, confident wink. His support really warmed my heart in this cold world. The destructive power of your summons is truly insane. We got your back and this loot is just the beginning. Yang Xiao beamed with pride as he spoke those words. I finally felt like my hard work was being recognized. It was clear they saw me as their ultimate trump card. Sure, hiding my power sounds cool, flexing later for shock value, surprising everyone like a boss. But some OP enemy king would have likely deleted me instantly. Going public is definitely risky, but humanity isn't just standing around. They actually pulled some strings to hire sovereign-rank bodyguards for me. Plus, the loot they offered is straight up insane. 500 level 5 and 6 life crystals, plus a body refining manual worth 1,000 contribution points. Just handed it over, no cap. If humanity is glazing me this hard, it's not just about my summon strength all by themselves. It's my talent that gives them truly terrifying power. After some small talk with Yang Xiao, I dipped out. Back in the mountains, I summoned Emming, fed him every single life crystal I had. Emming erupted, dark flames instantly ignited, devouring the crystals whole. Soon his evolution points jumped by 1,766 points. That's 1/3 of the way there. Now for Phase 2. Using the intel from Xiaowei about those mutant beasts, I ventured even deeper into the Dark Mountain range to keep the grind going. Over the next days, every level 50 mutant beast in the Belians was hunted, completely wiped out 16 level 60 behemoths, and over 100 level 50 monsters became snacks for my Emming. He grew 15 meters bigger and every stat got a 30-point boost. Back at headquarters, the vibes were pure victory. Without their boss monster, those giants are basically just EXP bags. Time to mop up the leftovers. For the next few years, the Belian Mountains are finally safe. Yang Xiao smirked, but internally, he knew the real war started. Over at the Wishing base, every single monster had vanished. Definitely not a good sign. It meant the entire pack was answering the behemoth's call and swarming for an attack. The trainees were so terrified they wouldn't even budge. They were just hiding inside, shivering behind the base walls. Their kill count was totally embarrassing. If this keeps up, that base is getting steamrolled. Anshin's pressure is finally gone, so it's time to pivot. Send reinforcements to Wushan immediately. 60 minutes later, I was summoned to the office. Chen-Lin, you carried us. The belly ends are clear thanks to you. I'm sending you to Washan to finish the cleanup job. I didn't hesitate for a second. Honestly, I was getting bored. No more giants to slay. I was already hunting for excuses to raid other bases' monsters. Level 40 mutant mobs. They're useless for Hemming's growth. Noticing my battle-hungry look, Yang Chao just grinned. The team is prepped. No delays, move out right now. We headed for the transport jet where 50 elite fighters stood ready for war. Ji Fei and the usual gang appeared. She strutted over, looking totally thrilled. Chen-Lin, I knew you'd show up as backup. Word is the situation at Wishan base was turning into a total disaster. He didn't blink before agreeing to help. Ji Fei flashed a devious cat-like smirk. She leaned toward Diana, who gripped my hand. Aw, what a precious little angel. You're still a growing girl, aren't you? Hey, Chen-Lin. You better not be doing anything sketchy. Diana tilted her head, looking purely innocent. Master. What are sketchy things? And why can't Master do them to me? Oh boy. The sketchy things talk. Suddenly, a dozen judgmental eyes locked onto me. Half were jealous, the rest wanted me dead. My face started twitching from pure awkwardness. Not knowing how to explain, I just bolted straight onto the transport plane, with the rest of the squad. Next stop, the Wishan base frontlines. Inside the base, you could taste the fear. The atmosphere was suffocatingly heavy. Every soldier was armed and on edge. The heavy artillery was already locked and loaded. Cadets were whispering like it was a funeral. Do we really have to stay here? The entire mutant horde is grouping up for a total massacre. Even the high command said we could bail. We can't kill all those monsters anyway. Staying here is basically a suicide mission. Half the guys already ran. It's over. A sea of thousands of mutated beasts. Who could possibly stand against that tide? My teammates kept sighing like drama queens, making excuses for their inevitable grand escape. Wang Hemming clenched his fists, voice turning dark. My family is back in Wuchang. I don't care how many monsters attack or if staying here means my certain death, I am not moving a single inch. Wuchang has 10 million souls to protect. Even with non-stop evacuations lately, this city is still packed like sardines. If we can't stop these mutant freaks, the whole region is going to be toast. Just then, a chunky green transport plane burst through the clouds and touched down right at the Wushang base airstrip. The big boss of the base, Cao Yu, and his squad were already camping out. Seeing Yang Xiao and the fresh cadets, he charged forward like a total fanboy. General Yang, you're finally here. We're saved. It was pretty obvious that he knew Yang Xiao's true power as a legendary rank 9 monster slayer. But Yang Xiao just looked totally done. Look, old Cao, this annoying curse is still messing with me, so do not expect me to carry this whole squad on my back. Cao's happy face immediately deflated into pure panic. Well, we are in deep trouble then. Beast hordes are swarming 4 different sectors, led by a massive titan that is almost level 70. It is planning a massive pincer attack to wipe us off the map, he sighed, looking totally confused. Wait, I thought the ancient base was being swarmed by an ocean of monsters. How did you guys have such an easy time? Yang Xiao smirked. Every single mutant beast level 50 and up in the Bellion range has been totally wiped out. And this kid is the one who did it, he said, pointing right at me. Cao basically yeeted Yang Xiao out of the way and rushed toward me, eyes sparkling. Student Chen-Lin, my hero, you are the one I've been waiting for. By the way, my grandson Cao Yang is actually your roommate. Come here, Chen-Lin. Everyone meet your new roommate, Chen-Lin. Come on, General Yang's gift is this way. Follow me. Then he grabbed my hand like a bro and dragged me straight to the logistics department. Some soldiers hauled in a massive black chest, easily several meters long. Cao Yu gave a smug little grin. Student Chen-Lin, it is Christmas early for you. The warehouse over there is totally empty. Go ahead and inspect your loot in peace. I gave a quick nod of thanks, then slipped inside and cracked the chest open, stuffed to the brim with rare metallic ores and glowing life crystals. Jackpot, I summon the silver disc and start smelting those materials like a pro. Soon the battle armor weighs 163 tons. Just a light tap of my foot and the steel floor buckles like wet paper. After eating up all those rare materials, the silver disc hit a breakthrough, gaining 8 levels of pure sharpness. Combined with before, that is 10 levels total. Now one-shotting any trash below level 50 is basically a walk in the park. Plus, it finally unlocked the legendary size-shifting ability. Big or small, no problem. I nod, feeling like a total boss. I am dying to hit the mountains and test these gains on some mutant beasts. I just fused over 100 rare metals. The silver disc's power is now 10 times higher. I follow Cao Yu to a wide-open area at the heart of Wuchang base. Over 100 people are gathered there. I spot a familiar face immediately. Su Linsu. Under that icy hair of hers, her face looks delicate, almost pale. She has got that slender, graceful figure. Comrade Zhu, I step forward to say hello. He flashes me a friendly smile. Cao Yu steps up with a dead serious look. The mutant horde gathered yesterday. Led by a level 69 Dark Horn Behemoth, they are attacking from 4 directions. This scattered offensive is annoying, we can't even focus. 2 behemoths lead each wave, targeting Wuxian base, specifically Wuxi and Yuneshi 2. Your job, stop them. Butcher those straggling mutant mutts. Thin out their ranks, give our defenses breathing room. For this risky operation, 8 squads of 20 now. Any questions? Sir No Sir Chow calls out the names. Chen Lin, you're solo today. He knows my true power, teammates. Only baggage for me. No complaints here, boss. The others look totally baffled. Even pros need help, right? Why is he so special? Huh? 2 quick minutes later. All 8 groups are ready. Come forth, Giant Emma. 100 meters of muscle blitzing toward the mountain peaks. My black wolf hits Mach speed. Diana's hugging my neck tight, little body flapping in wind. She's a total newbie summon. Everything's a shiny new toy. She hates that boring space, dark, quiet, and lame. I'm not making her leave. Meanwhile, in dusty peaks, through the rugged mountain range, infinite mutant monsters appear. They're crushing everything to bits, toppling trees like toothpicks, a tsunami of pure chaos, miles of absolute monster madness. They're coming without mercy. At the very front, 3 terrifying kilometer-high giants, strutting like they own it. They are absolutely massive units, exuding a savage, soul-crushing aura. An unseen force starts warping reality right before their eyes. Under the weight of 1,000,000 mutant paws, the earth shudders for 100,000 meters. This scale is honestly terrifying. Deep inside the command center, the high-ranking officers watching the monitors look like they've seen a ghost. Suddenly, a deafening howl tears the sky. A kilometer-long titan of pure tyranny draped in black hellfire, a shadow wolf blitzes the flank at godlike speed. The air itself shatters with a boom. Every single thing within dozens of kilometers is vaporized by this terrifying force. That beast's legendary roar shakes the heavens, sending shockwaves that leave the mutants totally paralyzed. They've all stopped dead in their tracks. One officer is glitching. Is he serious? Our whole mission was to just harass their rear guard. How can he just charge the front? 3 massive behemoths are waiting there. One is an 800-meter-tall unit with tusks 100 meters long. The crimson-scaled demon elephant Colossus finally starts trash-talking. What kind of freak are you, little giant? Why block our path? Emming ignores the yap and just explodes. 10,000 meters of pitch-black flames. An aura of absolute death slowly claims his domain, devouring everything. Along with the fire, it deletes every level 40 mutant caught in the blast zone. A 3,000-meter-tall specter of rage manifests around his body. His cold ashen eyes, overflowing with lethal intent, lock onto the monsters. Now, the 3 titans are the ones shaking in terror. Pure terror paralyzed their souls instantly. One cold glare felt like absolute annihilation, refined heaven's hellish matrix. Here, no existence escapes his final judgment. Not even the hollow, lifeless undead remain. Even death itself is forced upon them. Diana acted fast from the skies, releasing her divine blessing. Her forehead seal blazed with golden light, sending her power levels surging high. Current Hemming is straight-up nightmare fuel, even pushing her goddess powers to max. She barely buffs Hemming's broken stats. Yet with that small boost, the hellish domain exploded outward, another 20,000 meters of chaos. Black flames doubled their destructive heat, their power became absolutely god tier. In just a few seconds, hundreds of level 40 mutants turned to ash. Even their vital life crystals got swallowed by the void fire. You're asking for a funeral. Kill him, the 3 behemoths roared. Suddenly, the sky turned pitch black. A ghostly moonlight bathed the battlefield heavy with a terrifying omen, making every mutant beast shake with fear. Diana stood like a majestic goddess. Her cold gaze looked down on them. Behind her, a massive full moon hung in mid-air. 9 circular blades of pure doom glowing with crimson aura circled her. They sliced toward the ghost rock behemoth. The beast roared, gathering its strength. Strange runes flickered across its rocky hide. But those blades sliced through like butter, leaving a wound dozens of meters deep, absolute devastation. Screaming from the agonizing pain, the rock behemoth's charge ground to a halt. It tried to swat the blades away, but they dodged with ease. Guided by Diana's deadly will, blades sliced right up his arm, leaving a massive 100-meter scar. Since Diana was tanking the Ghost Titan, Hemming didn't want to be outdone, so he blitzed the other behemoths. Every mutant in his path got absolutely vaporized. That mountain-sized elephant let out a furious roar. It swung its crimson-scaled trunk like a whip, slamming the black wolf hard. Without needing any orders, those black-flamed demon claws tore into the beast, shredding through the elephant's hide, leaving gashes deep as canyons. Out of nowhere, that centipede titan snapped its soul-chilling, terrifying mandibles. It went for a sneaky bite, but Hemming's reflexes were god tier. One swipe sent it flying. Before he aimed for its head, that red shell, shattered fangs buried deep in flesh. Toxic purple blood sprayed everywhere. The centipede shrieked in agony, coiling its body around Hemming while its sharp legs tried to skewer the guy. But they were blocked by a solid golden shield. Hemming clamped his jaws shut and yeeted that giant bug away, erasing a mountain peak during the massive impact. Buried under a total rock slide, but our boy followed up fast. Crushing stone, he slammed that ugly titan's skull straight into the dirt. Pinning it down, he went savage. Meanwhile, the remaining mutant horde. Monstrous flyers swarmed Diana in the sky. Her expression remains stone cold while maneuvering. The Hong-Mi Annihilation Blade. It spins back like a boomerang. 4 circular blades rip through the swarm. Of those flying pests, they weave and dance together, shredding mutant flyers one by one. Suddenly, Colossus Guyan charges at Emin. He is making Emin target number 1. Emin lets out a brotherly roar. Zero fear in his heart, still crushing that titan's skull underfoot. Centipede dives straight into the chaos, squaring up with Guyan. 4 titans clash in a brutal fight, making the earth crack and tremble. For tens of thousands of meters, shockwaves ripple toward the horizon, filling the air with explosions and truly terrifying roars. Countless mutants flee in pure panic, terrified of the massive shockwaves. Silence falls over the command post. Damn, Caillou's jaw just drops. How the hell is this wolf so savage? Level 20 and fighting 3 giants. That is a 46 level gap. Every officer there starts gulping, glued to the screen in disbelief. The entire mountain range has been turned into a dark purgatory consumed by fire. 4 Colossi fight with devastating rage. Their clash shakes heaven and earth. That evil and demonic shadow, over 1,000 meters high, exudes an aura of pure tyranny, ready to devour millions of souls. The pressure is simply suffocating. Meanwhile, Diana, high above, finishes her own dance. Hundreds of those mutant flyers have been completely wiped out. Their mangled corpses pile up below. The zombie annihilation blade starts spinning around her, its dark crimson glow becoming more blinding now. A terrifying power surges out, so intense that even the air disintegrates. Those 9 circular blades fuse into one dark red, blade stretching a full 100 meters long. It hovers before Diana, its insane aura making every mutant beast shake. Her energy explodes while the pure power of red annihilation swirls with a massive blade right behind her. The silver moon is slowly bleeding into a deep red. Heaven and earth are soaked in crimson for miles, looking like a literal hellscape. It feels like falling straight into hell. In this moment, the ultimate form of the full moon, the core destruction form, finally awakens. Diana's cold, ruthless voice echoes out slowly. Prepare your final prayers. Suddenly, the dark red light of the annihilation blade hits its peak. It transforms into a terrifying red shadow that rips the sky and slams down on the Colossus centipede. At the moment of impact, the blade doesn't slow down for 1 second. It carves through that 1,000-meter centipede body in just a few blinks. The massive Colossus is reduced to mush. One shot killed a level 65 beast. Talk about insane power. Even I'm low-key shocked by this flex. But the defense penetration of Diana's core destruction form is totally broken. It basically ignores every single defense. Resistance is literally futile against this girl. And get this, she still has a scarier sun-moon form. Though that deep red moon has faded, this move definitely burned through a ton of energy, but Diana still has plenty left. With nothing but pure willpower, she commands the nullification blade. One swift strike shredding the massive Gilon Colossus nearby. Absolute terror grips the giant's soul. He frantically sprouts a shell of his thickest, hardest stone armor. But too bad, that won't stop. The unstoppable nullification blade. He's literally sliced in half instantly. That ominous crimson moon shatters and quickly fades into nothing. But Diana's elegant, slender body suddenly shrinks back into a tiny child. Her arrogant Ice Queen face, now pure innocence. Blink, blink. She flaps her wings and zooms off, desperately searching for her master. Meanwhile, Eming's already finished his chores. That demonic elephant tank. Eming's just standing in a sea of black fire. Those pitch-black flames are busy devouring every single monster corpse. Poor Commander, AOU is completely losing his mind. To him, this is just straight-up insanity. They were only supposed to thin the herd. But this guy, he decided to solo the whole map. Every last mutant reduced to atoms. The ultimate one-man cleanup crew. A horde of thousands. No tens of thousands of beasts. He's more efficient than everyone else combined and by several times over. Basically, the road to Witchy is officially monster-free. Tao's face lights up with pure hype. All that stress, poof, gone. They wouldn't have lasted one wave before. But now we actually have a shot. In the darkness, the flames feast on every carcass and life crystal before flowing back into Eming's body. Level up. Look at him grow. He hit a growth spurt and soared. Physical stats jumped by 2 points. And the best part, I snatched a sweet stat boost. Harvesting energy from giant behemoths is just a snack for Hemming. But for me, it's a buffet. Even grabbing a 1/3 share is a legendary glow up. My stats are looking juicy now. I got nothing to envy from a hidden class character. At level 30, add Hindi's terrifying bonus and watch, level 40 mutants are basically dust. As for beefy level 50 monsters, 10 hits and their history. Scrapping with weaker colossal beasts is a total walk in the park. Next goal, crushing the witchy offensive.